Hi guys, Jacob here. Future Jacob specifically. Because past Jacob was an idiot and didn't set up his recording stuff correctly. And so we recorded a whole 3 hour and 40-minute session that did not pick up my audio whatsoever. You know, the DM, the one who narrates what happens, gives vital information about the story, and kind of judges what the roles that the other players may actually do and accomplish. So kind of big boo-boo that hit the DM's. Audio was not recorded. So here's what we're going to do. Obviously, we can't make these guys play a whole nother session. And there was some information provided in it that you guys need to know. And the players were pretty funny and got stuff done. So we're not going to just chuck it. What we're going to do is I'm going to sit here as punishment for not doing it right the first time and watch the entire 3 hours and 30 minutes of actual gameplay. And I am going to do voiceover for the parts that you missed. Now, I won't obviously get everything correct. It's not going to be as descriptive as it should be, but I will do my level best to give you guys an idea of what was actually being done. And of course, all the players' audio is still correct and recorded, so you'll still get their actual roleplay elements. I cannot apologize more to both you, the audience, and my players for messing this up. And we will not let it happen in the future, but we can't just chuck the recording, and obviously I can't make my guys sit down and do an entire pretend like they didn't do the entire session and then do it all over again. So this is the best that I could come up with. Again, I'm sorry. I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll get to it right now. Thank you. All right, so this is where we are going to start, and this is where I say that I'm going to hit recording, and then realize that I already did.
Stop recording.
Next Lucky they are separate buttons.
3 hours. Hey guys, I got bad news. Got to redo everything. Everybody roll exactly as you did before.
That joke's a lot less funny now that we know what happened. All right, so I'm going to skip ahead here a little bit. This is where we're going to do the intro for the video. I'm actually doing the intro right now and introducing Chase and Levi. Chase, Malcolm Punch. Yeah, this is where we're telling him that he's actually, it's 3 o'clock in the morning where he is. So I'm just really appreciative of Chase taking the time to make this a priority and do this game with us. And then we're clapping.
No, here we go.
Do you have a soundboard? He does.
It's me being an idiot. Levi's joining us again as well. He should be a season regular. He does not have a channel. He's just a good guy. He's if you haven't read the cast interviews and whatnot, he's got some of the least amount of experience at the table. We're really happy to have him on to give that perspective for new players.
It's your boy.
Andrew's using a.
Now it's suddenly okay to not have a webcam. All right,
Or finally.
I see how it is.
It was always okay.
He doesn't particularly have the same creative endeavors you do have, okay?
Yeah, Andrew's on a face cam for the first time. He's never had a face cam for any of the stuff he's done with Chase. He had one on one of my videos. He had one on one of my videos a while ago, but he doesn't normally show his face. But he's actually starting a YouTube channel all on his own. So his kids got him a face cam, and we're really happy that he's got the confidence to show his face with us, because he's one of the best role players. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. He is one of the best role players I've ever seen. And part of that is his facial expressions and his animation. So I'm glad you guys get to see it. I do believe what I'm doing now is going over the recap of the last session. Especially for Chase and Levi. We've been putting recaps in our Discord so they see it, but for you guys, for the viewer, maybe you haven't seen it and whatnot, they're still getting down on a mission, getting done with a mission, excuse me. That would be weird how I phrased it right there. But I'm just recapping the last session. I'm not going to do all the recap right here because it looks like I'm already behind where I'm at. But we're going to let them basically take it from where it was, with Auric and Ara and Milo taking the spy in a crate back to the Old Coast Inn, where Ranshaw is already there. And let's see where it picks up. Obviously, Larry is not with us in this recording. I did explain that in the opening, but he should be back with us for the next session. He just had some family stuff that he wanted to spend some time with his daughters, and who can blame him? So he's got to take care of the session, and we'll explain where his character went. But yeah. While I'm waiting, where this is going to start off, they're going to get back to the Old Coast Inn, and they're going to join Margrave and Blackstone. And Blackstone is currently, when they get there...
Was he in the box? I thought he was in the box. Okay. Yeah.
What's in the box?
Okay, now Chase and I said that simultaneously, and that was actually pretty funny.
I think I said something about this last time, and I don't recall.
You won't know that because I'm deaf.
Right?
Well, he was alive when
all I care about.
Milo's in the back, just poked a couple holes in there, just in case. He's gonna stay in.
he was alive when you guys knocked him out.
Yes.
He kind of, he's breathing. So we've made it. Walk back in. Has the atmosphere of the tavern that we're in changed? Less people, more people.
Here's what we say: that it's basically nighttime in what we would consider a weekday, so it's maybe not as busy as it could be, but there's still plenty of people to drink and keep the tavern with the same kind of energy that there was before the group left. As I waffle on, much like I'll probably do in this voiceover.
And then with the amount of people looking around, do we see the same, who was it? Duke? Is he? Okay, so then I guess I tap Auric and just, I think we should probably lead back to the basement.
I'm sure that's where we'll find James Smith.
That's Chase's first time hearing that accent, and I just loved watching
James
his
Smith
expression.
is down there.
Oh yeah, bud.
My accent's not very good, man.
Don't you know?
I'm working with it.
Yeah,
though.
no, yeah.
We're committed.
All right, so they're gonna head down to the cellar, and basically what we're saying
I'm
now.
sorry, not sorry.
Midwest dwarf.
Oh, jumped ahead of myself.
You're Minnesotan dwarf.
Yeah, so now they're going down to the cellar, and basically when they get down there is they hear Lord Blackstone chewing out Ranshaw, saying, "What do you mean it didn't go according to plan?" And Josh...
Oh, the sun. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Well, as I was saying, we were technically able to identify the spy in question. However,
It's Chase's first time hearing his accents too.
Identify him in such a way that allowed him to receive the missive from the Duke that you were hoping.
And this is so what's happening here is that Duke Blackstone is now going to Margrave and saying, "I knew we shouldn't have hired outside help. I should have been able to take care of it. I could have gotten in my father's trust and confidence and figured out the information, and now we've lost our opportunity." Margrave puts his hand up before anyone can respond, and what he says is, "We had contingencies for this. We always knew that having to intercept the spy on the boat was a plan."
Your imagination is correct.
And that's just them confirming that they actually did have to go to the boat.
How did you know?
He seems to have forgotten that Margrave is the one who told him about the boat to begin with.
That makes sense.
Now, what he's going to do here, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit.
But
But
I wouldn't
not
say
as
that
many
it,
as there could have been.
I wouldn't say that it didn't go according to the plan. If we even if we had gotten the letter, there still might have been tracking to the boat to get to the spy.
Now, I believe Blackstone's getting angry about here, and again, Margrave shuts him down. And what he's going to tell his retainer, the guy who led the party to the Planar Theater during last session, is now would be a good time to take your exit and go handle the boat situation. Because again, it was explained to them that there is a chance that they could engage on the boat. So Margrave, the Lord Intelligence of the Kingdom, had a contingency plan for it. Now, what I'm checking is my notes here to make sure I get everything that Margrave wanted to say here, because what he's now going to say is he's going to let Blackstone, he's going to dismiss Blackstone. He's going to say, Mr. Blackstone, you wanted to be involved here. Now you get to be involved. You get the opportunity to go and get the letter. You're the contingency plan for the group not getting the letter. And he's going to dismiss Duke Blackstone's son, Aiden. And Aiden's going to bow to Margrave. And the group, what I tell the group here is that they kind of get the idea that Aiden wanted this to begin with. So he's going to leave. And as he's leaving, he scowls at the rest of the group. As he's leaving, clearly with disdain for their failure. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Now, once he leaves, what Margrave is going to do is he's going to ask the group, what went wrong? Why did you fail?
The spy made us. We were too congregated by the door.
Yeah, this is where. This is
We
where.
were right inside the entrance. We got kicked out, but I talked our way back in.
There's the Irish accent slipping into Indian, and
It was
Chase
his fault.
chuckling about it.
And his fault.
Now, what Margrave's going to tell him is he doesn't care about particularly whose fault it is. He's just
Let's
interested.
spread out. Oh,
He's
Well,
just
well.
interested to learn that the party could be trusted in the future to do the
I
work.
can say with a reasonable certainty that we have learned not to, let's say, congregate near the egress into buildings, especially when on a clandestine activity.
This is Margrave saying that should have been common sense.
Yes, Milo.
He's picking on Milo here because I wanted to make sure that Melvin got included here. His
Yes.
character's a little meeker.
Totally.
In our defense, you rather we were rushed to this Planar Theater and we don't know the area well, so we had no idea that it was an establishment of slightly
Well,
greater than average means, and so we weren't effectively dressed for the occasion. We stuck out a bit like sore thumbs, despite our best efforts.
Yeah, and he's like saying, well, it's easy to stick out like a thumb if you don't leave the threshold of the door.
Absolutely.
yes.
I'm a little upset that Mon isn't here to be upset about this conversation.
maybe
Yeah.
next time they'll heed my warnings.
That's enough out of you, Orc.
He's breathing.
So what's going to happen here is Margrave's done with the conversation. And what he does is knock on the secret entrance, the big keg in the wall. And when he does, two palace guards walk out, very distinct from the palace guards wear a distinct uniform from the city guard. And they walk out and they take the crate away into the keg. And what Margrave is going to tell the party here is that they failed the main objective, so they're not going to get paid for that. But they did secure the spy alive, so he'll give them the 50 gold pieces each for all the players that were involved, and that he does want to give the party another shot. So what he's going to do is pay for the room and board at the Old Coast Inn for all the party members for at least the next few days, with the understanding that they don't leave the city. They can, and that when he calls on them, they are there to answer. Because he wants to be able to use them just in case some more plausible deniability is required of the actions they're taking. Because remember, this is foreign agents, the spies from a foreign
I like it.
foreign kingdom.
It makes you feel included.
Gosh, I love Melvin's character. He's meeker, but he just seems kind of
Actually,
wholesome.
just a quick question. I understand that you've paid for us to be able to stay here for the next 5 days. Are we still free to explore the city and pursue our own ventures, so to speak, so long as we do not leave the city in the event that you require us?
Yes, of course he does. He doesn't mind them leaving the tavern. He doesn't expect them to be shut-ins, but he does need them available to him as soon as he requests it, which is of course
How do
contingent
we
upon him
know that
staying at the
you've
inn.
called upon us?
And what he's going to say is, I will tell the innkeeper to reach out to you.
Aye.
Like of flowers?
I don't actually remember
Animal
what that comment was.
arrangement.
Oh, arrangements. I've made arrangements with the innkeeper, so of course that had to be said. Now, what Margrave's going to do here is he's going to warn the party not to use the secret passage. Just because they know it exists doesn't mean that they have permission to use it. So he leaves back into the keg, and as soon as he does, the party hears several mechanical latches. And so just so they know, that isn't going to be done. Now, they don't know there's also magical enchantments on it, but hopefully they never run into that. And this is me telling them about the several latches and that they can't use it.
I'm glad you
Don't
mentioned
reckon-
that because I was definitely going to try to open the door.
I don't reckon we're gonna get in though. Did you hear all that? Lock.
Well, I
One
think that
day.
went rather well, all things considered. It was a
And I-
pleasure working with you all. I look forward to working with you all again.
I give him kind of a scoff. You ditched on us. You left us to be. We brought back the spy. You should divvy out your 50 gold. You didn't do it.
Last time I checked, I was rather helpful in getting you access to the boat itself. Did more than my fair share, I'd say. Also, a bit on the less bloodthirsty side, from what I recall.
No one said no one was allowed to die. That's all I'm saying.
He said don't get the guards involved. He didn't say anything about killing people.
Does it not stand to reason that the guards would be a little more interested in dead bodies than simply unconscious ones?
That's fine, but we didn't have
It's a
to
big
be there
city.
when they were discovered.
Well,
Yeah, that's Ara saying you're all idiots, the Dragonborn, Larry's character, and he walks up to get a drink.
I like that idea. I'm going to follow him.
He was the killer.
I suppose it would be a good idea to see this room that I've been given, and I could use a good meditation on the day's events.
I just want a good night's rest. I got beat up and bruised.
So what happens is they go upstairs, and Ara gets a ale, and Milo does as well. And then the innkeeper is going to give them a set of keys. So they're splitting rooms. One key is going to go to Auric and that's Chase's character. Auric and Ranshaw, and they're the two who want to go to sleep. So the other key goes to Milo, and he's going to split the room with Ara. And he and Ara drink a little bit. When Milo says he's ready, which I think is going to happen here in a second, Ara's going to stay down there and continue drinking. Yeah, this is me screwing it up because I originally said 3 keys because Levi and Chase are going to be joining them, but the innkeeper shouldn't know that yet, so that's my screw up.
Dragon and a bunny.
Dragon and a Bunny coming this fall to
Already exists on Roll
NPC.
34.
You win. I was going to say there's a website for that.
So yeah, this is just recapping that those...
Nope, I'm just going to continue drinking until I just stumble my way back upstairs.
This is just confirming that Ara is going to continue even after Milo leaves him.
Hopefully he knows where the room is.
I don't remember exactly what's being said here. Again, this is why anyone who wants to record this, make sure your recording's set up to record your DM, because this is excruciating. Melvin agrees.
Guy doesn't take much.
So now I think we've gotten to the next morning, and what I'm telling Ranshaw is that because he only sleeps, or he only does the 4-hour meditation as an Eladrin, he gets to come down first, technically. But I think what we're going to do is let Auric and Milo go first. I can't remember. This is only 2 days ago, but I've slept since then.
So I'll just start by, once I exit the room, I'll go straight up to the barkeep, the tavern keep, and then ask him like, hey, do you have any leads on where I could find some information about individuals who happen to want to see the demise of dark magic users?
So that's a very
I
specific
don't like
goal.
them, and I was told that there's somebody in this city that might be experienced in that sort of endeavor.
So what the innkeeper tells us is obviously there's not just a cult that says, hey, we hate dark magic users. There's not just a group dedicated to that. But what he does bring up is...
Not right there.
What he does bring up is the Harpers, an organization dedicated to making sure those with great power don't abuse it, whether that be royalty or powerful magic users. That's what he brings up. And of course...
The Harpers?
The Harpers, of course, being a organization active on the Sword Coast. That's me almost doing a
Could you elaborate?
Boston accent when saying the Harpers and then deciding that that's not what's in the best interest of the group. So I'm just elaborating here for Auric about what the Harpers are. That they're active on the Sword Coast, but that the innkeeper doesn't really know how to get a hold of them. It's not like they just have a headquarters somewhere where you can say, go there and speak to Harper, agent, whatever. But I think he's going to elaborate more on that here in a second. So he's taking notes. Josh is probably the best note taker of the group.
So basically what you're telling me is I should go around looking for the Harpers within the city, see if I can find any.
He's just saying, I mean, I don't have a place to send you to. I don't know that they just advertise their location, but that's that's the only thing I can really offer you, is that group is known to be a check to those who would abuse their power.
It's more information than I could have asked for. I appreciate it. Invigorated by this newfound knowledge of at least, a group to look for, I happily stroll out of the tavern or the inn and start making my way through the town, thinking about where the next spot I'm going to hit up is.
So what I say here is it's going to take a couple hours. He continues going throughout the inns and the taverns throughout the city, which takes him, I think I said, the better part of 6 to 8 hours as he just continues to go. And he just basically gets the same information. Everyone keeps bringing up the Harpers. Everyone seems to speak well of them, but no one can really know how to get in touch with them. But if he's looking for a check on empowered individuals,
Okay.
That's what he'd find. All right, now we're going to go to Milo. Milo wakes up, and what he realizes when he wakes up is that Ara is not there. He never came in to bed last night. Or at least if he did, he's not there now.
I guess there are early birds or dragon horns. Yeah, those things. Milo kind of just quietly walks up to the tavern keeper or innkeeper. Excuse me, sir, is there any library, school, or something in that nature where you keep history or things or collective?
And so what the innkeeper's going to tell him here is that really there's no public library or anything.
Well, how
But-
do you get in?
But there is the academy. The only problem is you can't really get into the academy without a sponsorship.
I know what you mean. Find connections.
Yeah. Connections with royalty or the city
What
guard or
kind of connections?
the wealthy aristocrats, connections.
So no one learns anything in this in this city.
And what the innkeeper says here is we learn how to read and write, and what the backstory for Coasthold is that it does make sure that a fair amount of its citizenry can read and write, at least in common, and maybe basic mathematics for business purposes.
Interesting.
But they don't go
Was there
above
anyone
that.
around here who would have just knowledge lying about? Any old wizards or someone in that nature?
The innkeeper's like, I mean, there's just not a whole lot of people that are like, I'm an old wizard lying about. But again, he just directs him towards the academy because that's where we want Melvin's interest to go. We want Milo to focus that way.
Well, it seems like you do not have anything for me, so I will go find it myself.
That's the innkeeper trying not to be
Walks down off the
offended.
bar and just walks out, doesn't really wait for a response.
And now, as he's calling out, he says, "Well, I thought you had connections with our mutual friend," but he didn't wait for a response, so he didn't hear that.
I'm probably gonna stick in this district, but just kind of wander and see if there's anything that comes to something similar to what Milo would be looking for, uh, other than the academy itself, or maybe passing by the academy itself if possible, just to see what prevents people from actually walking into it.
All right, and so what we're going to say here is that basically they're in the low passage, and I think I have to check my notes here to confirm that that's what the name of the district, or the sector of the Kings Hill district is. And what we're going to say is that he's going out, it feels not oppressive, but certainly like people don't have the same energy that they do in some of the other parts of the city. And now whether that is because it's early in the morning or because it's something to do with the low passage itself, we just don't know. But essentially people don't seem like they feel as free in this area. Whereas when you get out of that area and go into the central district, he clearly can tell that there's a lot more energy here. It's a lot more upbeat. And there's a lot more wealth specifically in this area because the central district is home to all the various guild halls and the administrative facilities of Coasthold and the Kingdom of Antambara. So there's a lot more energy even in the early morning as people are going about making deals. Kind of like what you expect, what you see whenever any movie depicts Wall Street ever. And then he'll pass through the central district and he'll head back towards the gardens, which is in Kings Hill. And that's actually open. There's no guards there to prevent them. It seems like there's tours going through. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful area with just tons of flora. And when he goes through the gardens, he is able to make it to the gate that goes between the gardens and the academy, but the gate is closed and manned by several guards. And when he approaches, they stop him. And let's see. Yep, I think this is me checking my notes. And now you can see where we're coming through with the map. So the Old Coast Inn is that sector right at the bottom of Kings Hill. You go through the two districts of the the two sectors of the central district, back up to the gardens, and that's where the gate is to the academy. And this is me describing the gardens. I can see me mouthing the word gorgeous. Seem to have used the same word to describe it in the lore. But soon he'll come up to the gate and the guards will stop him. And he should interact with them here in a second. Ba, 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 ba. If you guys watched the first episode, let us know in the comments what your favorite part was. And if you could do anything for the second episode, what would it be other than the DM not screwing up his recording? That's a given.
I just was looking for the academy, but I guess this is a invitation only type of place.
It is, and what the guard is going to politely tell him is that without advance notice from a member of the nobility or the Coasthold guard, he cannot let him through.
Easy enough. I will get that and be back. Thank you.
Yeah, and so Milo's going to walk away. He doesn't press anything. What I say here is that the guard seems very polite. They seem like they're used to people trying to come up to that gate and being turned away, and they do it in a very polite and courteous manner.
I don't want to cause any disturbance just yet, so I will just walk off.
I love the way he puts that.
You mentioned a garden. It probably reminds me a little bit of home. For the time being, I just head back that way and spend the next few hours just watching.
Yeah, so we just say it takes a few hours to do that as he's watching. Now we'll go to Ranshaw, who probably left before they did. I think that's where I clarify.
Well, so Ranshaw comes out of his trance, and he looks different than he did the day before. When he leaves his room, I presume that Oric would still be asleep at this moment. And heads downstairs. I imagine the innkeeper perhaps has a sight double take, because while same facial structure, like looks the same technically, skin tone has now gone from the light green to a burnished gold, and his eyes are now a solid yellow that slightly glow. And he's going to come right up to the innkeeper and say, "Hi, you there! Where can I go to vent some of my aggression?"
I love Chase's expressions. Now the innkeeper is taken off guard by this.
"Ah, no, it's just how I am today. I gotta process what happened last night."
I'm telling you, I am glad that he has a face cam, because it is fun to see his facial expressions when he does these voices. But he's gonna say he's gonna direct him towards some of the taverns.
"Thank you very much," and then just storm out and start heading in the direction of Old Town.
Yeah, he's gonna direct him to other taverns around the city. He didn't say Old Town specifically, but that's where Andrew chose to go. And so basically I say it takes a lot longer than he anticipated because he doesn't know the city, Andrew agreeing with me on that. And so I also explained to him that it also feels like the Low Passage just has a much more muted atmosphere than any of the other districts do. He also walks through a couple sectors of the Central District. He makes his way through Back Bay, which is where all the harbor work is, all the dock work is, and eventually makes his way to Old Town.
Is it? Won't it still?
No, I don't remember what we're chuckling about here, and I wish I did. I wanted to try and do this as soon as we stopped recording, but it was past midnight already, and we were going to take the kids to the park the next morning, so I actually wanted to be present for them and not be absolutely drained with no energy. So I didn't do it, and then my wife and I went and celebrated our anniversary, so now I'm doing it 2.5 days later. Again, this won't happen again. But here's what we're describing when he gets to Old Town. And he makes it north. He goes to the Griffin Nest Inn. I mean, I think I had to double check my notes to get that, but he goes to that northern end of the peninsula, and he finds it, and it's very clearly not the. It's very clearly not the best place in the city. This is probably where sailors on shore leave find rooms for the evening, or maybe 2 nights, while they're waiting for their ships to be unloaded and whatnot. If they decide they don't want to stay on the ships, or maybe they can't for some reason, this is where they go for that.
Right.
Man, I talk a lot. I mean, I am the DM. I know it's my job, but man, I talk a lot. I can really suck the oxygen out of a room. Oh well, I hope at least people enjoy it. If anyone's got any good DM stories where the DM just absolutely screwed up, put them down in the comment section below. Love to read them. Maybe it'll make me feel better.
I'd love to know where I could go to punch a git for some gold.
So he has made it to the Griffin Nest Inn, and he enters it.
Absolutely.
Or actually, I don't even think he's made it to the Griffin Nest Inn yet. I think he just asked for directions. And they direct him that way. So I don't know what I all described to him. I wish I did, because I described for quite a bit of time. I'm sure it was something about the city atmosphere. Going back and saying Old Coast Inn was kind of deaf, or not deaf, but muted.
Appreciate the information. You should swing on by when they do have a fight. Bet on me. You'll make some money, I bet.
This is him looking him over in his monk clothing and saying, maybe not.
Fair enough. Okay.
So the whole trip probably took about an hour.
Imagine not. CD dive bar kind of feel.
Yeah, and again, we're describing the Griffin Nest Inn here. So in the lore of the city, I put several inns and taverns around. At least one in each district. Except for, I think, the River District. Well, not the Back Bay. Back Bay is all dock work. Every single bit of it. There is no inn or tavern. Nope, that's not true. There is one. But I don't think there's one in the River District. They just get fancy.
Nobody that greet you. Is there
casinos.
And anybody behind the bar?
So he's made it to the Griffin Nest Inn. There is no one there.
Oi! Anybody that work here actually awake?
Now remember, it's like 5:30 in the morning, so he's screaming out at 5:30 in the morning. And someone comes out of a back room saying, "Why? Why are you being so loud?"
Well, I don't need a good plow, but I wouldn't mind a good fight.
I'll let you guys just come up with your own information for what he said
I
there.
understand that you probably don't have anything now. I was just looking for the information. I'm interested in joining in. And I've got some coin to back it up. I imagine there's some sort of entry fee.
So here's what I say: there is no entry fee, and I am 100% going to retcon that because that was a stupid thing to say. Because you can't bet on yourself. So there has to be an entry fee and a prize payout for. So this is just us telling him basically come back at sunset, or maybe just before sunset, and that's when we have fights, but certainly not at 5:30 in the freaking morning. So he'll send him away.
Question for you: if I'm not allowed to bet on myself, and I understand the reasons why, because some cowardly gits just might want to throw it, but how much would I get if I won?
And that's me realizing I messed up. You done messed up, Aaron?
All right. See you around sunset. Have a good one. Just turn around and leave. How are they making?
He's just gonna be confused when he comes back later and they're like, "Give me your money," and he's gonna be
Yeah,
like,
right. I was told no entry fee. All right.
Yeah, I think we're just describing.
Well,
So he's gonna have to come back.
I did come to Coasthold with a particular purpose. So I'm going to head back towards the central district and ask around. Let's see here. No, I'm going to ask if there's a local library.
So he's kind of looking for the same thing that Milo is, and so I basically just share the same thing that they told Milo, which is there's no real local libraries, that he'd have to go to the academy. And they kind of give him the same information. You need connections to get in. It's not just something they let the general public go into. Hopefully we'll get a chance to organically talk more about the academy's lore in a session I'm running that's not being recorded. It is absolutely vital to the story. So hopefully we'll get a more organic chance to talk about it in this one. But it's not there yet, so come up with your own ideas, and I will inevitably disappoint you when we do, in fact, talk about it. So I think this is him saying it's the same thing.
Well, upon learning that, Ranshaw would want to return back to the inn where he's staying. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
So he wants to go to the Old Coast Inn.
Approach our friendly innkeeper and just say, "Oi, can you get me in touch with my benefactor?"
So this is the innkeeper saying, "That's not how this works." And I'm gonna whisper it just like I did there.
Christ. What's the point of having connections if you don't know how to use them?
Let's see. They use you, not the other way around.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I don't know. Maybe you know. Have you noticed anything strange in the past 100 years or so?
The innkeeper just walks away from him at that point, thinking that he's wasting his time.
Right. I think this is going to be a little more difficult than I thought. Oh, don't.
So the innkeeper just called him a git.
Because you're providing me with lodging is the only reason why these hands have not been all over your face. Let's not.
So what I tell
Not
Ranshaw
today.
is that you kind of get the or Ranshaw kind of gets the impression that the innkeeper was kind of jesting with him, but now he's questioning whether he had the relationship to do that with him or not after that
Today's
response.
just not a good day for it. Try again tomorrow.
This is me telling Milo and Oric that they do have to worry about a meal for the day. I don't make players, me personally, I just don't make players keep track of a lot of things, but I do want them to keep track of rations. Either they need to spend gold to eat a meal, or they can go to the Old Coast Inn and get that meal that's provided for them.
I'll return back to the Old Coast Inn.
I think I just assume Milo's going to do that too, so I just state that verbally. But yeah, that's one of the few things I make players keep track of. And then here's where we're going to tell that Ranshaw he spends a couple hours tracking in the academy. He goes back to the Old Coast Inn, and now he just kind of wastes some time, and he's going to go back to the Griffin Nest Inn to do his fights. And it doesn't take him near as long because he has an idea of where he's going.
This is my normal talking voice. Why are you talking about screaming? You ain't heard me scream yet.
So what the thing is, he walked in, and the person from the inn remembered him from earlier saying
Aye.
the screamer.
Looking forward to it.
So he wants to fight. So this started because we have...
This morning you said there was no entry fee. You trying to pull one over on me? I want to fight here. Take your 10 gold.
And so they're going to do some prize fighting here. And this all started because we have 3 monks in the party, which is absolutely a meme. But one of them, his whole backstory is basically he wants to he wants to fight. So watch Chase here, because he thinks I'm introducing his character. And instead, I am introducing Terax Alazard, which is Levi's character. So Chase is like, womp womp.
Well, now I look a little silly. don't I?
As smaller Dragonborn, because Dragonborns are pretty big, so I'd say he's about average height for a human, about 6 foot. Normal Dragonborn build, a little on the scrawny side, and that being a green scale Dragonborn as well.
You said the fight hasn't started yet?
Yeah, so Terax's character is in the middle of the
see him,
fight, or
and
about
I
to be.
immediately recognize. Now I will yell from the stands. Hey, Terax! Give him what for the old monastery! Hey!
And at this point, I say,
Terax will look over and he goes, Elder Kethel. Always up for a good fight.
so at this point, the two of them here, monastery? What monastery? Because if you haven't keyed in here, Levi, Andrew, and Chase's characters all know each other. They all went to the same monastery, which is the Monastery of the Platinum Scale. And here, Chase finally gets to introduce himself.
Do it again!
It was even more beautiful the second time.
There's that blue magnum.
One look. I think it's what I say.
Give him the smolder.
So we're going to let Chase introduce his character here, much like we did for the other guys in the first session.
So Mon barely overhears this faint conversation from obviously outside the building. He heard about a fight, and he was looking for someone that he used to train with at a monastery.
I start singing somebody I used to know.
Yeah,
Vocals only.
acapella. All right.
Yeah.
So he strides in, and he is human. Just looks run of the mill, on the taller side for a human.
All of Chase's characters are on the taller side for a human. The man is 6'7", and he has no idea how not to be tall.
Some robes that are similar, just in a darker hue, because it's what he's used to wearing. And he strides in and says, "Monastery? What monastery?" And then he sees an old face. 2, in fact.
Monkish! What are you doing out here? I never expected to see you in Coasthold.
Oh, we're in that kind of mood today, are we?
Hey! Couldn't you tell?
I got word that you were in town, and I decided if there's fights going on, I might know where you would be.
Oh, you picked a good spot for it. It's good to see you. Look at between you and Terex, we got the old gang from the Platinum Scale back together. Ha!
We do indeed. We do indeed.
So
You, Monkish. I say, good to see you, Monkish.
Yeah, good to see you as well, Terex.
Now make sure you don't lose, or we'll have to tell the Grandmaster about your shame.
So we're gonna let Terax go into the prize fighting here, and there's betting in this. And so what I did previously in preparation for the session, I came up with the odds of each fighter winning, not just winning, but winning it in round 1, round 2, round 3 by knockout, submission, or decision. And I gave odds for that happening, and then I kind of reduced the number of betting possibilities down to ensure that they don't get too much of a big payout. And then we're going to let them place bets here. And then also what you saw me doing that earlier, that's Fred. He shows up in a lot of my Fairly Critical videos. Josh absolutely loves him, and so he made me, before the session started, put him in position. And then I just realized that my head was blocking him, so I had to adjust it. And you might be able to see in the chat on the right that Josh was giving me some grief about that. But now we're going to describe what's going on. So the ringleader gives the ringleader for the tavern fights is giving them 2 minutes to place bets, and they're sizing the fighters up. And he goes to Terax and says, "Look, the guy you're fighting's a regular. He's not particularly good. You'll probably eviscerate him. Please try not to injure him because he shows up regularly, and we just let him throw hands every once in a while, or rather frequently, even though we know he's going to lose." Excuse me.
For the starting equipment. Oh gosh.
And then we'd forgotten.
Well, it's not even time. It's like monks. Monks get some of the
We're very humble people.
So
very,
I let
very humble people.
I let all the party members start with some extra gold, since we were starting at level 3.
Right. Just again, I don't believe it's multiplied by anything. I will double check.
And we didn't do that for Chase, so we're just doing that for Chase real quick to let him get some extra gold. Which for the monks, what we did is basically say there's rules in the PHB.
Oh.
There's rules in the PHB.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, instead of taking the starting equipment per class, you just each class gets a certain amount of gold. And so basically what I just said is you guys you roll for that. You'll start with your starting equipment plus that gold amount. So Chase just got an extra 15 gold pieces.
They're cans, what you telling me?
Yeah, and so this is the ringleader telling Terax that the guy he's fighting is not particularly good. And that in fact none of the guys, if they
Send them back home to the wife and kids.
these guys don't have wives and kids. All right, the ringleader's going to call the fight in now. And we're going to do this. So this is a system that I came up with when Levi told me that his character just really wanted to fight, and that was basically the entire premises of his character. So this is not in any of the books.
Toss 10 gold on old Terex over there.
Same here.
So
yep.
So this is me saying here's the bets possible, and they're going to put bets on him.
Is there no just winner by knockout? Or is that the winner by submission?
So what I gave for each of the fighters was there was each if to bet on the monk, which was all three of them were monks. Winner round 1 by any means, winner KO round 1, winner KO round 3, winner by submission, and winner by submission in round 2.
Winner, round 1 knockout.
So Chase puts 10 on winner KO round 1.
I was gonna say, can I split my bet 5 on round 1 and 5 on round 3?
So we say that Andrew puts 4 and 4. 4 on a winner KO by round 1 and 4 on winner KO round 3.
All right, I'll do that.
And so the payouts are what I'm looking at. So if they KO by round 1, for every 2 pieces of gold on the bet, they get 25. So Chase would get 125 gold plus his 10 back. And
I mean, I'll just slam the 10 on round 1 KO.
And Andrew would get 50 plus his 4 back, but he'll lose the 4 that he put on winner KO round 3. And so this is a new system that we came up with. This is the first time that we're using it. I think it goes pretty well, actually. Now, here's the only problem with it. Because my voice is not recorded, we're going to have to... I'm going to have to remember some things. But essentially, I'll try my best to remember what happened.
To complicate prize fighting. Loves to complicate everything.
I do like...
I was going to say,
He
prize
just
fighting
likes-
is not the reality. Everything.
He just likes to sit down and think about numbers. He is.
He does. He loves his numbers.
I really do. So my background is actually financial analytics. I have an actuarial science background, and even the simplified version of my odds making system involved nowhere fewer than 3 actuarial functions.
There would have been an Excel
He enjoys
spreadsheet.
Pokemon.
There was an
100%
Excel
there would
spreadsheet. All right, so we're gonna roll initiative, and I don't remember what I said there, but people are finding it funny, so it must have been funny. I'm funny, darn it. All right, so we let the party roll initiative, or the Terax and the fighter that he goes up against, which is a brawler, roll initiative, and I believe Terax wins.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, guys, because all 3 of the monks really want to make their downtime days involve fighting.
Elbows, knees. Question mark.
So listen, he says elbows and knees. You can absolutely throw elbows. You can absolutely throw knees, but try not to target those joints so no one gets injured and everyone can keep fighting. But you guys will absolutely see more of this system. So I'm going to do my best to recreate what happened for you guys so you understand. But you guys will absolutely get to see more of the system because all 3 of the monks really, this is what a lot of them want to do with their downtime activities. So you'll get to see it a lot more. This is the cut down version. So there's a big version, which per fight would probably take about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we're in the cut down version tonight, which will take about 5 to 10 minutes per fight. And so we'll do some tweaking on it, but I think it goes pretty well. So what he's doing here is he's starting the fight out because he won the initiative, and he's going to strike. So he got a 15, which does beat the brawler's AC.
That's 1d6, eh?
1d6 plus your dexterity.
Yeah, because he's a monk, he gets that monk fighting.
That will be 10.
10.
Nice.
So max damage. Get used to that because he rolls a lot of 10s. Now it doesn't knock the it gets the brawler right on the chin, doesn't knock him out yet though. Doesn't even break his HP yet.
Keep going. Okay. Now I'll strike again.
Okay. Now he can strike again as a bonus action. All fighters can do that in this system, but because he's a monk, he can spend a key point to do flurry of blows.
Okay, yeah, I'll flurry of blows then. Rolled a 2 on the second one.
Okay, so two on the die, and then he'll add his modifier, but that's going to be not enough to hit the brawler. And because of this system, if you miss a strike, the brawler can any fighter can use a reaction to make an attack. So he's going to strike at him.
Yeah, I have 18.
Yeah, so he rolled an 18 exactly.
Yep, it meets it beats.
And he's going to take some damage here. Which the brawler, his physical attacks do 1d4 plus strength.
Are you adding your 2-hit modifier?
I didn't on that one. I did on the first one. So that is. What's the modifier as well? Just for hit.
Yeah, should be a 6. Your proficiency plus your dex mod.
Okay. So plus so 13. Sorry.
And a 13 will hit. So his second flurry of blow strike will go to him, and he'll roll more damage.
Rolled a 9 that time.
9 damage. That's enough to make the brawler make a Constitution saving throw. So basically what we say is he gets struck, and he doesn't like it, so he comes in and gets a secondary blow in the ribs. And the brawler does pass the Constitution saving throw, which throughout the fight, every time that they have to make a con save, after they make it, their health goes back up to their maximum value, which is reduced. It's basically what a character would have if they were a level 1 character. And then every time that gets reduced to 0, they have to make a Constitution saving throw. And for the cut down version of the fight, the DCs are increased, and you only need to fail 2.
Acrobatics check, yeah.
So the brawler, what he's going to do is go in there and try and grapple him, because what the brawler gets advantages to all strikes if he has the target grappled. And so he gets the grappler rolled a 20 on the die. And so he grapples Terax here, grabs him by the nape of the neck. And then for his bonus action, he's going to throw a strike right to the chin, at advantage because he has the grapple condition. That's a 19 to hit. So he does manage to hit him, and he does do damage, and that's going to be enough. That's going to be enough to force Terax to make his first Constitution saving throw.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think this is me just confirming the rules for the guys.
Yep.
Me confirming the rules for everyone, which you guys, I apologize. I do try and explain the rules as we go in this. I don't remember all that said, but you guys will get the opportunity to see this system. So he rolled a 4 for his Constitution saving throw. He failed the con save. So he's got 1 failed exertion save on his belt. If he gets another one, he's knocked out. And I just want to say, I like this system. I do think we need to do some polishing, but for the most part, all the guys were really intrigued by the fight. Afterwards, they said they really enjoyed it. Melvin is it's like he's actually watching a UFC fight at certain points. It gets really exciting as we go on. The only problem is you're not going to hear it. So I'm here to try and make it better, and hopefully the next time that they do this, I won't screw up. But this is me just describing the fight again, saying that he's got him grappled by the neck, kind of like a wrestler trying to take him down. And then he just gets that shot underneath the chin. But now it's actually going to be Terax's turn.
To break the grapple. How do I do that?
So because of the rules of the fighting, anyone who is grappled, if they try and strike, they do it so at disadvantage. So rather than do that, Terax is going to try and break the grapple.
Athletics or acrobatics, or is it just athletics? So that was an 18.
18. He's going to pass that. He's going to break free of the
18.
He's going to break free of the grapple. And what we say is that he swims his arms out and gets the grapple off of him. And then as a bonus action, he can continue to come in and strike. And again, because he's a monk, he can even do flurry of blows, which I think is what he does here.
Is there any way to get the exhaustion off of me? Like, take a second to recover after being grappled?
No, and in the cut down version, there is no way to recover from exertion
Then I'll just
levels.
try and punch him again. I'll punch him. Free attack. Yes. We'll do that. First attack will be 16.
16, so that will hit. The brawler's AC was, I think, 12.
Another 10.
Another 10. Another whopping right there.
That is 23. 23.
23 to hit. That will certainly break that AC. Sounds pretty good.
In the second one, I hit 4-5.
5 points of damage. So that's enough to cause another exertion save. So he's going to make another Constitution saving throw. The DC is increased. The first time it was 8. Now it's 13. He fails that second con save. So he's got a failed exertion save on as well. And again, so now he and Terax are tied. The next one to fail a Constitution saving throw will be knocked out.
I rolled a 14.
So Terax is forced to make another con save there, but he passes it. Again, that DC was 13 and he rolled a 14. So he passed. He's still in the fight. The brawler's going to take his attempt here to strike him. And he misses, rolling a nat 1 on the die. So Terax is going to use his reaction to strike him
13.
instead. And does hit him. Oh, he does hit him. I say he missed. Andrew is able to catch me here. I think it's Andrew. It's either Andrew or Chase catches me and says that 13 actually hit. But we don't catch it right immediately. Because he missed his retaliatory strike, the brawler uses his reaction to retaliate as well. Hits him and causes and does damage to him. It was a moderate amount of damage. I think it was only 5 hit points. But here Andrew's going to catch me and say that the 13 hit. So not only did the 13 hit, but and Levi is going to get to do damage to the brawler. The brawler should never have had the opportunity to strike as a retaliation.
I still have one more flurry of blows left.
And so we're going to retcon all of that. We're going to give the health back. We're going to give the health back, and Andrew has caught me. If you guys can see the chat, and Chase is confirming. So I'm going to apologize here. We're going to give Terax the hit points back. We're going to say that Terax did land that first flurry of blows strike, and he is going to hit him.
Looking out for my monk brother.
I don't like the way he said that. This party originally started out. Josh hadn't confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Yep, and there's another 10 on the damage. So we're gonna force the another exertion check.
Let's go.
Yeah. Exertion save.
Woo!
Have rolled. Is it 3 6s and 1 5 or something like that? 2 6s, 1 5.
3 6s and 1 4, but they're high.
To beat him again. That's a 23.
Yep, 23 will hit. And he only has 1 hit point remaining before the exertion check here. So he's going to force him to make a third exertion save, a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 18, and he is going to fail.
Yes!
There it is.
Let's go!
I'm glad these guys really got into this. I really am. It was
10
exciting.
gold well spent.
So what we'll describe here is
Pretty good rolls.
is how the brawler goes down thanks to that massive amount of damage. He just rolled so high on those damage rolls. And so the first strike cracks him on the nose, and nearly passes him out. He starts to see fuzziness, and then a right hook comes in across the jaw and just sends him flat on his back. He just falls over, and you hear a thud. As maybe not. I don't know. Maybe there's an uppercut thrown in there. That's what throws him flat on his back. And Mila's over there enjoying it. I am glad that these guys were enjoying the system because I put quite a bit of work into it. So I'm glad that these guys are enjoying it. And hopefully you guys are enjoying it too. From what you can so far. Again, so sorry that you couldn't hear it. We will do better. I will do better. I won't screw it up. And you guys will get to see the system again. So the ringleader is going to come in there and hold Terax's arm up, declare him to be the winner. So the ringleader says, "Terax, a lizard," and that got some chuckle from everyone.
Money.
Absolutely going up to cash in on that.
Yeah, so these guys are going to cash their bets out. Chase, because he put all 10 on the round
Chase
1
for sure
KO,
has more than myself.
Full 10 gold, yeah.
gets 125 gold payout plus the 10 that he made the original bet on. So he's sitting pretty.
I'll take that.
4. I put 4 on the round 1 knockout.
So Andrew's going to get 50 gold pieces plus the 4, but then he put 4 on a secondary bet, and he's going to lose that.
I'm okay with that.
Donks.
So essentially he comes out 50 gold pieces ahead. Or I guess 46 gold pieces ahead. So for the sake of simplicity, technically the stats would change with each fight. The odds for the betting would change for each fight. But to keep it simple, I just kept it the same. So I can't remember who goes up first. I think Monkish takes the second fight. No, or Andrew.
As soon as he steps out of the ring, I'll hand him 5 GP as a thank you for confirming the round 1 knockout.
So,
Gladly accept it and say, if I could bet on myself, I would. But this is second best, so thank you very much, Monkish.
You did great out there. Here, take this and make sure to bet on me or on Monkish. You know that we can do it. And I'm gonna go hand him 10 gold. Get him some betting money.
All right.
So,
Well, I know someone's itching for a fight, so.
Hey, get me in there.
so Ranshaw's going to go up against a wrestler. So there's 4
Your
types.
turn next, Renshaw. After all, we saved the best for last.
Oh man, you and your sense of humor. Good to see ya.
So I came up with 4 different types of fighters for them to go up against: wrestlers, brawlers, strength fighters, or rather strength strikers, and dex strikers, with the dex striker being kind of the monk-ish character. So what he goes up against is a guy as a wrestler, a guy with strong shoulders, different than the brawler. He's not so much of the stand up and strike. He's going to try and take him to the ground and submit him. We use the same odds, even though technically they would be different. The wrestler technically had a better chance at beating the monk, I think, just because the brawler doesn't do as much damage striking. I say that the wrestler doesn't do very much damage striking at all, but he's got advantages to athletics, or he's got bonuses and advantages to the grapple attack. So he wants to try and submit.
To finish it quickly. And I don't try to permanently injure anybody that isn't trying to kill me.
And the ringleader just told him the same thing that he told Terax, which is, listen, this guy's not very good.
All right.
You'll probably beat him. Just please don't beat him too badly. I tell that to all the guys because this was a fresh system. and we were using it, I set him up with the lowest level of fighter, which they would have easily beat him, barring some really unfortunate dice rolls, which clearly Levi had really good dice rolls. Barring
Double
some,
down.
so Chase is gonna do the same bet.
Double down.
10 gold, 10 gold on a winner KO round 1 for Ranshaw.
I'm already so stupidly up, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he could. Man, they all do high damage. They really all do high damage. There should have been no reason that that they knocked out a guy in round 1. But you know, you combine the high damage rolls with just the inability for any of the fighters they go up against to make any con saves whatsoever, and you get it knocked out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, well, we doubled down
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh gosh. No pressure.
That's that
Please,
50G
dice.
bet right there.
Wait, where are the other options? Let me look at.
Well, max bet's 10.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Yeah.
I do recall that now. My apologies.
Yeah, I
was getting
told-
a little excited.
I told the guys
would've
because
put down all of my winnings, because why not? They were free.
I told the guys because
Yeah,
I had to
I
Smart
protect.
to build that in, that complexity.
Dice don't
Let's
fail
just
you
make
now.
let's just make a quick 10 G's on the first day, you know.
I'll do the round 1 KO. Might as well double down here.
Oh gosh.
10 pieces.
Big come up for the believers.
No pressure. Gosh, no joke.
Yeah, I need a lot of 10s.
It's since he's trying to grapple you the whole time, it's going to be very hard to.
Space.
Yeah.
If he gets you one time, the dream's probably over.
True.
So Wrangler is going to step in here, and just to finish my thought, I did tell them that the biggest bet that this inn could take would be 10 gold pieces or 100 silver, which is of course the same value, but basically that's them saying.
Ranshaw Cathil.
That's basically them saying, yeah, that's the in-universe reason for them saying, yeah, we can only handle so much actual coinage. So he's going to introduce the fighters here. And basically the general impression is that all the fighters are used to this guy. All the fighters that they go up against, everyone's clapping. They're like, yeah, we know he's going to lose because he always loses, but he always shows up.
Familiar.
And I used for the wrestler, I used the same name that Andrew has used in our other campaign that's not being recorded. So I gave him a little chuckle, a little Easter egg for him.
All right.
So we're gonna roll initiative.
Be a lady tonight. Okay.
Andrew sings his normal song.
14 for initiative.
I can't remember who gets the initiative here. I think the wrestler does. And comes out charging at him.
No fire, no lightning, no.
Oh yeah, I should specify that you can't use magic. This is prize fighting. Can't use magic. Can't use anything that would cause. It can't be anything other than your hands and your fists.
Immediately charge at him and make an attack, an armed strike.
All right, so Ranshaw attacks. He
That's
gets
gonna
the
be
initiative.
A 15 to hit.
That will hit. AC
All right.
is the same for all three of these fighters.
Starting with 6 points of bludgeoning. Yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
So out of all of them, Ranshaw darn
At
near.
level 1, yes, would have been 10.
All three of us are as good to be seen.
Yeah.
So we're describing is this guy doesn't keep
All right,
his.
we're gonna bonus action flurry of blows.
Yep.
So
This guy doesn't ball his fist up. He keeps
That,
his hands open, ready to
is
grapple.
A 14 to hit.
14 will hit. He did
Okay.
6 damage on the first one. He only needs 5.
For 7 points of damage.
So that's going to cause the first exertion save.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
I can't remember if he failed it or
And
succeeded
then
there. I think he
18 to
succeeded.
hit.
So an 18 will hit. He'll get another shot on
or
him.
another 7 points of damage.
Another 7 points. So he has another 4 points of health before he needs to make an additional saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
So we're describing this guy backing off. Now, the reason we're doing this is because the minutes in game take 5-minute rounds.
Okay.
But in the full version, each turn is
So,
only 30
acrobatics,
seconds.
right?
And in the cut down
Right.
version, there each
Seems okay. We're gonna go with 25.
25. So he fails the grapple, and he's gonna try again, because this is what the wrestler does: just keep shooting for him. So what I described here is he goes for the grapple, and he misses. So now he's gonna go. He's kind of dislodged, and he's gonna shoot for the legs, and he misses the shoot. So he's gonna try and just grab the ankle, and go for another grapple on him.
Okay. Okay.
But he ain't gonna miss. He ain't gonna
Good
make
to
it.
know.
I think he rolled a total of 4 or a total of 6, one of them. And I just described that
Okay.
Branshaw just backs up. So they stand up and he backs off.
Honest question. So he was crawling on the ground. Now you say break off, so he scrambles up and backs away.
Yes, and here's me saying you can't get an attack of opportunity for him backing away.
I just thought I'd ask.
In this system, we don't allow that. The only opportunity attacks you get is if someone tries to take a strike at you and misses. If you
Understood.
If
Fair enough. I was just trying to understand all the rules.
fair question to ask, though, of course.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know. All right. Well, I run up and start hitting him again. It worked the first time. That is going to be a 13 to hit.
That will hit.
All right.
Remember, he only needs an extra 4 HP.
8 points of damage.
8. That'll knock him. It'll get that exertion save, which I think he fails this one. Yep.
There we go.
Failed the second.
Okay.
Failed.
Bonus action. Bam, bam.
All right. He's going to go for the knockout right
That's
here.
what monks do. Natural 20.
It's looking good for the believers.
Oh, that seems pretty good. That's going to be 12 total.
So that's not possible.
If you double their max, does anything happen in this scenario?
So that's not going to happen. We're gonna pull.
Yes!
Let's go. The believers are so off.
We're gonna pull that back because 10 is technically his maximum. I didn't catch it at the time. When you crit in this system, you don't double the dice like you do in a normal critical attack. Instead, it just applies the stun condition to them, which they have to take an action to shake off on their next
for the
turn.
DM.
So I'm just adding a
crit
0
is
to
double the
my.
dice, right? Yeah,
I'm just
I rolled
adding a
2.
0.
So this is where Andrew catches it. It's
okay.
not going to
Well, in
double
that
the
case, it would
dice.
only be 8 damage.
8 damage is not enough to make the second exertion
my
check.
Apologies. I thought.
However, he will still get the stun condition, and Andrew does have another flurry of blows, so it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter.
Oh, you have one more roll.
Now you have advantage.
Yep, and he's correct on that, so he gets
One more roll.
his
And I do
final
still have one more attack.
his final flurry of blows is going to get advantage.
Okay, my apologies. When did you send the email? Because I didn't see it today.
So yeah, I had sent it to him a couple months ago. That's what I say.
Oh, of course, yes, because I remember that. Okay, well, that's going to be a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that's
At
good.
advantage.
And all he needs is 3 hit points.
Basically, you need 4 more damage.
And his
Confident in that.
modifier is 4. So he's gonna knock him out.
And
I don't
that's
think
for
he
9
can-
total.
Yeah, I don't think he can possibly not knock him out.
So it's gonna be the
Well,
final
he has to roll,
exertion
I guess.
save
Yeah.
at 18. He's gonna
But
get
he
an
already
18 or
failed it.
higher. And he fails.
Yeah.
So that's a round one knockout.
Wham!
He only needed to survive one final turn, which is funny too. He almost made it out of round one. So what we describe here is that first strike punches him in the ribs.
Right to that beautiful glass jaw.
The second shot gets him in the chin, causing him that stun condition, and then a final blow
Well,
will
that
knock him
was
out.
maybe a warm up.
Can we
Thank
go
you.
for 3?
I'm glad Chase is able to join this group.
Feels
Lon's
good.
about to face the level 3 fighter.
Right.
Bring it. I'd still probably win. It just
Jacob's
wouldn't
like,
be
bring in the level 20
It
warlord.
just wouldn't be a round 1 knockout.
And he is true. The fighters get increasingly difficult, but really the players have a distinct advantage.
Well, I'm going to be using roll 20, so I'm probably not round 1 knocking.
Get a distinct advantage
We'll
pretty
find
much
out.
all the way up until about the
Yeah, that's
the
the
7
entire
or
luck on roll 20 for the rest of it. I
7
used all of it.
or 8 level.
How much do I make for winning? Like, okay.
Since you were in the fight, you weren't betting, but I'll toss you some of my 1,000
much
gold
do I
if you
make?
would like.
So, you
I thought you said it
specifically
was-
said that round 1 on the wrestler would be 1,000 gold. We all heard it. It's recorded.
You said 1 to 1,000.
Now, and here's what I'm saying is that if the wrestler
one.
We're gonna
If-
have to play that back when this episode comes out.
can't,
That's not what it sounded
Josh,
like.
you
Roast me in the
can't.
comments.
That's the secret, boys. I purposefully lost my audio so that way you couldn't check me. No, but what this was is that if the wrestler would have
You did say
won
that is correct.
in round 1, a bet of 10 would have paid out 1,000, because the wrestler should not have won. And I apologize if I confuse. I do apologize to the guys if I confuse that, but the odds are the same. They're out there in the in-game notes in our Discord.
I have like
And I get my 10
400% of the gold I started the day with.
Yes, no one's
and I
displeased.
get my 10 gold entry plus an additional 10, right? Okay. Cool.
Next time on the wrestler though, throw the fight.
No,
Plan
that's
it.
dishonest. No.
Plan it.
Maybe the DM has plans, Josh, for that exact
Okay.
reality.
I don't want to deal with
Well,
the
they would
Coasthold
have to-
mob.
They would have to know you through it. Come on now.
Still, I'm sitting at 120 gold. That's pretty good.
Of course. I had 235, so I'm gonna go to 225 after I put my 10 in. Okay. Like to stride on into the what? Am I interacting with the man?
So, I just breeze past this second part here, since we've already done it with Terax and Ranshaw.
Heck yeah, all 10 round 1.
Yeah.
everyone's,
Do it.
everyone's putting bets on the round 1 knockout.
Same bet.
I'm gonna look like a fool if I don't knock him out in round one.
Now who's getting shamed by the Grandmaster?
So this is, I think, the only time. And Chase is going up against another
Well, I apparently
brawler,
can't spell
Next time on
roll.
DBZ.
and he gets to start out
I'd
fighting.
imagine he would. Yeah.
So he got a pretty high initiative. Chase did not. So we're gonna let the brawler come out swinging. I think what I have the brawler do is immediately go for a grapple. Although I might be wrong about that. He might go for the strike.
So do I? What was his entrance like? Did I get a feel for his fighting style?
And we're just gonna tell him it's a brawler. So the wrestler had really thick shoulders, kind of what you said. You think of wrestlers, good biceps, good shoulders. This guy's more chunky, and so they basically describe him as it's the similar guy as Terax. Okay, so he did go out and strike him.
Down
So he does a little bit of damage. Now the brawler gets a D4 plus his strength mod to damage, basically like an improvised weapon.
I absolutely will.
So the second strike he uses a bonus action. He missed.
I'm
So Chase
striking, sir.
is gonna take a strike at him as a reaction.
What is this BS?
He
I
rolls
mean,
a 5, but
only a
You get
plus-
to add what 6 to that?
Yeah, it's not going to be enough.
that does not hit. I apologize. I'm mistaken. I thought the AC was 11. The AC is 12. So he's gonna try and grapple him as a reaction because that strike missed. So he gets to use his reaction to make another attack,
Alright,
and he's
well,
gonna attack. He's gonna attack
I
a
did
grapple.
a left hook. He did a right hook. We both did a little step back, and then I'm just gonna come right back in with a jab.
Oh, I might
got
be
this, you
mistaken. He
got
might have
this.
missed.
Can we get another 5?
Believe in the heart of the dice.
Oh yeah, I must have said he missed, or he took a strike and he missed. My apologies.
I don't
Bad
have
commentary.
Actual dice with me.
Hey!
I imagine that would get there. Yeah.
All right, so Chase comes in with
Alright.
the jab and hits him for.
And we are going to. I'm just gonna click the dice button. I'm done with this. 1d4.
It's a
You do
D6 though.
1d6, sir.
I do a 1d6, correct?
Yeah, 1d6.
All right, so that's going to be 4 plus 4.
So 8 total. They all had the same health. All 3 of the opponent fighters had the same health. So he's
flurry
got
blows.
There we go.
he's got 3 points left before he needs to make an exertion save.
Oh, I need to roll
Oh,
to hit.
that-
No, I need to roll to hit.
yeah,
Yeah, I need to roll
he
to hit.
just rolled damage immediately.
Oopsie.
That's gonna hit.
That
we
will
go.
hit. All right. All right, so now we do the d6. Got that one out of the
Far
way.
better.
Hey!
Got that one out of the way.
He couldn't have failed with four extra damage from his dex mod. He couldn't have failed.
Yes! Already one fail.
We're gonna
Well,
he
I'm just gonna hit him
forces
again.
forces
Just
the
do it!
exertion save and he failed immediately. And this is where I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh no!
Oh, there's a nat 1.
I could fail.
But
I
the
can
the brawler had already used his reaction to try and hit, and so
Right.
he
All
can't
right,
follow up
so
on him.
I'm done, I suppose.
So now it's the brawler's turn. He's not feeling great. He's already got an exertion save failed from the first round, or rather the first turn of the first round of the combat. And again, they have three turns each in one round for this cut down version of the fight. And so this guy, because he failed a con save,
Can
Do
beat
this.
this, not with that roll. Dude, I hate roll 20 so much.
yeah, he gets
Gotta get you
grappled.
some physical dice.
So for the brawler,
Say, we'll pay for the international shipping and everything.
so for the brawler, if they fail their con save, the next attack they make gets advantage, and so he grappled him because the brawler also gets advantages on strikes against grappled targets. So very similar to Terrax, the grappler comes in, gets him by the nape of the neck, and tries to
Negatory.
uppercut him, and misses.
Okay, I mean, I guess I might as well take it.
So Chase is either going to strike here as a reaction because the
That's
attack even advantage missed,
Um,
but there's also as a reaction the
Two.
escape. But he chose
we
to
have
strike.
12?
Yeah, 12.
12 hits him. So even at disadvantage on the attack for being grappled, Chase chose to strike instead of escape, and he
Oh,
hits
look
him
at
for
that.
6.
Let's go. I'm just better.
Right for that kidney.
All right, so is he's grappling me like the other guy, same kind of thing, and then he comes up with this, and then I suppose I just barely managed to kind of sidestep with my body, and then he goes up, and then I'm just following right back up.
So he's going to get him on that chin. And even at max damage, though, the guy still has 1 HP left, but we're headed into Chase's turn. And he's got 1 HP, so it's not looking great. So that's his
I will break
round.
grapple. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So Chase is going to try and break grapple here using the escape action. So the escape is the escape and
That
strike
I
are
manage.
both actions and reactions.
I don't think he can beat it. Unless he crits.
He can't beat it because there is no such thing as a critical success on a check. So he will fail that. Chase got a 19 on the die, and because you can use it at acrobatics or athletics, he's just too high. So Chase manages to pry the hand off the back of the neck in the grapple.
I will use it to attack.
Chase is going to bonus
Yep.
action flurry
I
of
will
blows.
Go ahead and do the monk thing.
Do the monk thing.
Ooh,
That
that's
first
not gonna
one's a
make it.
miss, and this allows the brawler to attempt to attack him once more. He attempts to grapple him rather than strike him. He attempts to
Okay.
grapple him.
He's so handsy.
I
Chase
crit.
though with that
That's
Chase
good.
with that 20 roll ends that dream. I think the grappler got a 4 on the die, so there's nothing doing
Well,
there.
no, that was for
Right,
my.
that was
my grapple
his-
check. He
This is
failed.
the
Takes me a
first-
second to realize what was going on here.
He failed
Yeah.
grapple. Yeah.
So I say he attempts to grab Chase's wrist, and Chase is just like, no, get
Good job.
away. Flicks his
Alright, so this
flicks his
will be
wrist
fair.
off.
I imagine that lands.
That hits.
There we go.
And then that's gonna be an 8. Is that?
That's enough to cause the final exertion save. DC 18.
Save.
Nope.
Yeah!
3 for 3.
Let's go!
The 3P, baby. The 3P.
Yeah, just real weak rolls on those
Monastery of the
saves.
Platinum scale represent.
So basically, Chase flicks it away, gets a left hook in on there on the left chin, and just very similar to the other fights. The guy just goes cold and falls down. And Chase just so what I describe here is that Chase basically, as that punch is flying, realizes why these guys suck, because the brawler just let his guard completely down, and that second shot comes in. So they three-peat all KO round ones, and we're gonna feed it in some role play here. And I want to take a second to thank Josh and Melvin, because they got their stuff done so quickly. And because they kind of knew, I told everyone we were going to have some downtime days. And it's Josh and Melvin put in their stuff, and they let me get
We were
through
the
this
warm-up act. That's
so
what,
quickly to let these guys get to the
125
fighting.
Since we bet on a round 1 knockout. Yeah.
So we'll get everyone's gold sorted here, but
I'm just doubling my 10. Yeah.
we'll get all that sorted.
Hey! Good fights, both y'all. Ah! That was some good fun. I knew it was a good idea to look for a fight today. Meditation's never failed me yet.
I mean, first night in the city, and I've already quadrupled my money. I mean, I suppose I can't complain.
So, Terex, what are you doing here?
Sharpening my skills, I suppose. Trying to travel the Coasthold, improving my combat.
All right, a worthy goal. And, man, you said that you were looking for me?
Yeah, I heard you were on some sort of mission or adventure, and I didn't have much going on myself. Seeing how we've all come back from our hiatus and training, and
Hey,
wanted to see what you're up to.
well, I appreciate it. Actually, I would really appreciate both y'all's help. I have been sent here by my current master, Runa. She's looking for someone dear to her. I don't want to say too much in this particular locale, but yeah, why don't you? I've got some lodgings in the nicer part of the city. Why don't you come with me? We'll see if we can get you all set up with the room. And I've even got potentially some more work for us within the next 5 days or so, depending on what happens. And I can fill you in on what's been going on.
Lead on.
Aye.
It's like a great idea.
Okay. So they're in the old town, and they're gonna walk all the way through or halfway through Old Town,
It worked
all the
really
way.
well.
They might need a little bit more HP.
Yeah, we gotta do some tweaking, but I think it went well.
I will say that having the possibility, like we all did roll very well in our damage, so having the
Rolled really well.
possibility for if you did up it, then we might not even have the possibility of round 1 knockouts anymore. So
Yeah, and I mean the round 1 knockouts, the high
I'm aware.
the high payout was because it shouldn't have happened that
No,
quick.
that's fair. That's fair.
That highly quickly, and that's just me saying this was the cut down version too. So the full version may not have that problem. The brawler has added benefits. Both the brawler and the wrestler have added benefits to the full version. But I think we take our halfway break here. I pause it here and we take our halfway break. So now we're back from our break.
Well,
That's me saying I'm a devilishly handsome individual, which of course I am. I'm also super humble. But welcome back, everyone. We're still doing the voiceover here because I still screwed it up. It hasn't changed halfway through the video. So yeah, we're back.
do you care about our passive at all?
I'm asking for them to make a check because
Well,
as
that's
they're
4 on the die, so a 10 total.
they're going through the city.
There we go.
19.
Also, I'm observant. So
Oh, nice.
As we're going through the city, basically I tell them to make a perception check because there's an individual following them, which Ranshaw does not clue in on. But as they exit the Griffin Nest Inn, they find an individual, or they see them kind of lead on, and as they keep entering new districts of the city, so they enter Back Bay, and both of them look back, and the individual is still following them. Then they enter the Central District, and the individual is still following them. And it takes about an hour to get from the Griffin Nest Inn back to the Old Coast Inn. And they have to go through 3 different districts, at least 6 or 7 different sectors. And every time they look back, this individual is following them. So right as they get to the low passage back to the Old Coast Inn, they're about to enter, and I say the individual is still following them.
So we've probably noticed him a good 3-4 times following us on the way in, and then it's
You all have. I've just been like, ah.
So I'm just confirming Chase's instincts here. That even as every time they keep seeing him, it seems like this individual is trying not to lose them.
and are they just posted up outside the inn?
I'm saying the players got there, the monks got there, and the individual's following.
Oh, so
them.
we're like on the doorstep, reaching the inn.
And
Okay.
it's about 40 or 50 feet back.
I would
Here
like-
it is. The inn that I was telling you about.
Sorry, yes, we'll get to that. Hold that thought. I would like to turn and step of the wind to the
Oh.
dwarf.
There we go.
So Chase Superman's over to him, or Flash, whichever you prefer. Quicksilver if you're a Marvel fan. But does all of a sudden he's just there with his arms crossed standing over him.
So I kind of step a quick, and then I get there, and then I just stand there like, "Can I help you, sir?"
And when he sees it's not a sir, it's a dwarven female. And I think I say a joke about he couldn't tell the difference because of the beard, being a call to the Lord of the Rings. Yep. Just kidding.
Oh, apologies, ma'am.
Yes, Andrew and I both finishing our snacks. And so the dwarf looks up at him.
Details inside.
And offers him a job. So the dwarf walks in and the monks walk in with her, and what they see is that Auric and Milo are there enjoying their evening at the Old Coast Inn. been probably about a total of an hour, hour and a half since sunset, so they're still up, just kind of enjoying it. Ara's not there.
Milo, Ulrich, good to see ya.
Wait a second.
Loud one again.
Are you trying to make fun of me?
No, why would I be trying to make fun of you?
You didn't speak like this yesterday?
Well, of course not.
What do you mean, of course not?
Oh, there's Indian.
Yesterday, I was spring. Today, I'm summer.
You'll need to elaborate.
Look, it's who I am as a person. As like, it is who I am. Every day, I embody a different ideal of the seasons. And today, I'm summer.
That explains a lot yesterday when you kept saying it's spring.
Wait till we get to winter.
What happens in winter?
I'm very...
Just, I look a little different. I have a slightly different outlook on things, but I'm still the same person overall.
I assume
you
fall's
choose?
gonna come first.
Hey, tomorrow.
That's weird.
I'm excited.
Not so weird where I come. Well, a little weird. But, admittedly, where I come from...
All right, so at this point, the dwarf says, "Look, I've got a job that's kind of time sensitive. Can we get to it?"
Oh, you dwarves.
Oh,
are
a
the
job, you
same.
say?
Melvin with the all you dwarves. With the
Yes,
same joke.
this little lass has been following us since we left the brawl, and I decided to take a gander at what that was about, and here we are.
So I think you are keeping an eye on our situation.
So, what's this job?
So I'm gonna paraphrase here. Basically, the dwarf.
Hey,
You
Of
got my
course.
attention.
There we go. That's what it is.
Oh, I can't remember what I say there, but basically, I think I say there's gold involved.
just a hop around for the hair.
Oh no, she says I'll buy you a drink.
He's
Everyone.
a lightweight.
Don't you
I
be
would
doing
like a full pint like everyone else.
He likes his beer full of hops.
A lot.
Gosh darn it.
He's an
I
IPA
love
man
the
himself.
So the dwarf is going to go up there to the bar and buy a round of drinks for the table. She comes back empty-handed, but the barmaid brings them the drinks. And she's going to introduce herself here as Traellus Flintforge. Basically, and Auric is going to interrupt me here several times, so I'm going to probably fail to give you guys the full thing here, but basically, she tells the party about Baldwin's lost forge, a legend that her father would tell her when she was
I thought
younger.
this was time sensitive.
So she's going to get through the whole story, even if it is time sensitive, Auric. Shut your pie hole. So she was told these legends by her father and her mother, both of
When did
which...
he go bald?
God dang it.
When did he go bald?
She gets irritated at that comment. I can't remember what she says entirely. I think she starts drinking. Yep.
Oh, we got a competition. Hold on.
I love Melvin's character. I love Milo. So basically, she says that there's this forge that made the Fandelver mines look absolutely shameful, as the Fandelver mines could put out some low-grade magic weapons, but these things could pop them out much quicker and with much more power in them. And her parents looked for it when they were young, but couldn't find it. In fact, many people sent out expeditions looking for Baldwin's forge throughout the centuries, and no one has been able to find it. And it occurred to her when she was young that the reason no one could find it is because it was not there to find anymore. Meaning it must have been on the peninsula of Antambara, and when the peninsula disappeared, so did the forge. And what she says is that when she was 19 or 18, I think, a caravan came through her little town, which was her village, on the high road. And that's when she learned of the reappearing of the peninsula. And that's when she put it together. So at the age of 18, she left, and for the last 30 years, she's been looking for this forge. She's looked through notes from previous expeditions. She's gone through the libraries of Waterdeep. She's gone through the libraries of Neverwinter. She looked everywhere and anywhere and everywhere she can, and eventually she made it to Coasthold, convinced that her theory was correct and that it was on the peninsula of Antambara. And making it on into Coasthold, she gained access to the libraries of the Academy, which Milo's gonna lament here in a second that she was able to get access and he can't. There it is. There's the look. She sees that look and takes a drink. But basically, she manages through her studies in the Coasthold Library, the Academy's library, to find a map of that specifically called out what she believed to be the location of the forge in the old township that was here before the city of Coasthold was here. And basically that would be underground now. The city of Coasthold was built over the top of it. And then as oh yeah, I'm checking my notes.
Roll with it.
And so she had a benefactor, a Baron Torben Troy. I almost had to check my notes again. A Baron Torben Troy was her benefactor. He is how she got access to the Academy. He was bankrolling her. Excuse me. He was bankrolling her study once she got to Coasthold. And when she found the map, she brought it to him. She said, "I think we found it." And he took it from her and he cast her out and he ended the partnership. Unfairly, of course, which of course she is now, and that was just a little bit of time ago. And the whole reason she went to him is because she thought that if she went to the Smith Guild, they would do the same thing. They would find the forge, not give her any credit, not partner with her, and take all of the benefits for themselves. So she partnered with Torben, with Baron Troy, and Baron Troy ended up doing that to her anyway. However, she knows that Baron Troy was called back to his lands, and that he left some guards at his city manor in the river district. So she believes the map is still in his city and that he's gone.
Before I answer, I would like to make an insight check on whether or not I believe she's telling the truth. Because this sounds great, but...
So she's asking them to break into his house and steal the map back.
That is a 19 total.
And as far as he can tell, that is a good roll. 19 total is a good roll on that insight check. She's telling the truth.
What makes you choose us specifically?
She just watched all three of the monks absolutely throw down in the tavern and win those fights.
They're lucky I wasn't
We did
there.
do that.
There are no lies.
I'll admit, Lassie, you seem like a bit of a straight shooter, and I like the idea of going and helping right or wrong, as well as, you said, a magical forge. I mean, I myself don't require a lot of magical trinkets, but still could be useful.
Well, even though that we don't dabble in armor and weapons, there's definitely gold involved.
Aye.
So I can't remember exactly what's being said here, but essentially she just...
Oh, I'm not going to go blow it all in the most expensive room, but do you know how much gold it takes just for the supplies to do some of the things we do? It's expensive adventuring.
She says, yes, I've been doing it for the last 30 years. What she said there was for monks,
Well,
you
there I
guys
go.
really like gold. She's getting annoyed. She's getting annoyed feeling like
I
they're...
literally have to.
Oric looks
was
at
about
her
to say.
sympathetically.
the dwarf looking at her. So basically she says she's annoyed. She feels like they're looking down on her, which of course everyone made a height joke, but it's because of her youth. Because dwarves are considered young up until the age of 50, and she's 48 right now. since she left home at 18 and spent 30 years traveling.
We do have a bit of a previous engagement, or agreement, I should say. So long as what you want us to do keeps us in the city, so long as we don't have to leave the city itself, I think we might be able to align our purposes.
Flicking it out.
I'm saying again, it's in the house is in the city. Hopefully they can go break in there and be done within the hour.
I suppose that it means we should follow her.
So she stands up and just
I
walks
take
out.
one stride
We're
and meet her at the
interested,
door.
Boom. Goku instant transmission.
Oh, as well.
All right, so the whole
Milo
party
takes, like,
follows
the
her.
last 30 seconds to try to finish his drink before walking out the door.
Milo finishes his drink.
I'm playing that every time I step in the wind, by the way. It's happening.
Takes so long for me to pull these up.
The pause, though.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are enjoying this episode of Fairly Adventurous. This was a really enjoyable one, even if I screwed it up so horribly. If you are liking it, just a quick reminder, please like it on the actual screen you're looking at. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more and share it with anyone that you think would enjoy it. And also, please support our content creators in their private channels. We've got Andrew, we've got Josh, we've got Chase, we've got myself, we've got Larry. All of the individual channels and their links will be in the description. But let's get back to the video you actually clicked on. And again, hope you guys enjoy it. All right, so they follow her to the river district and she points out the house. And this here's where we're going to actually have a map in a second when I pull the screen away. Can't remember what I'm saying here. I think she's just reminding the party that there were guards that she saw. And what she's going to say is that she leads them to the house and she's going to wait outside out of the way, and that she wants them to go in and find the map and then bring it out to her. She'll confirm, and then they can get out, go back to the Old Coast Inn and get out from there. So that's the Lord's Manor, the city home, the town home. They're outside. And what I'm going to describe to them is that there's walls that are about, not that high, only like 6-7 feet high. So Monkish can actually see over them. This is where her describing her plan. She's going to go stand off on the side of the street out of the way. Because of the river district, it's highfalutin. And people just standing outside the houses might draw attention. But essentially what we're looking at here is there's a stone wall about 6.5 feet high, 6 feet high. And a 2-story home. Chase is going to ask this in a second, but those blue lines represent windows when they get in there. And there's a second story as well that also has windows in those exact same locations. There's a gate there, a wooden gate inlaid into the stone. I can't remember what's being described here. That's basically the same information I've told you guys.
Sounds good to me.
I think it's her telling them the plan to wait out there for them.
All right.
She just telling them, go. Don't. I'm done. I'm done talking. Go.
Okay.
This time we
blue,
should
blue
make a
is
plan
windows.
before we go after it.
Blue is windows. I mean, if it's 6.5 feet, I can see over it.
Gosh, you're tall.
Again, Chase is either 6'7" or 6'9" in real life. He's 6 something. I've known the man since the second grade. I should really know
I
his
think we
height.
should make a plan for it.
Probably not a bad idea.
So
Considering our
Don't
last
alert
endeavor.
anybody.
So what are we
Make a
working
note
with here?
now.
This is A baron's house? Yes.
Possibly.
At least some
Jacob-
property of the barons in all likelihood.
Yes.
Townhouse? Okay. So we're working with a baron's house, no baron, only servants and retainers.
It's
How
possible
hard could it
guards.
be? Ooh, possible guards. Do I see any guards?
What I was saying is he takes about a minute and a half, 2 minutes to kind of walk the whole property, checking in, and he doesn't see
no
any
one
on the
patrolling
exterior.
outside.
Yeah, no exterior
All right,
guards.
I'll kind of just walk around all nonchalant and get a couple different angles here. Is there a chimney?
No chimney.
Damn.
He wanted to be Santa Claus.
Where's
You
if there's a chimney, I was about to ask how big the rabbit is.
I could fit, and I'd be okay with it.
I'll do it.
Alright.
Well,
But you
nix
said
that idea
the
then.
the first floor so far, after doing your walk around, the lights were off inside.
No lighting in the house. I didn't see movement, and no one patrolling the perimeter. So the initial setup here should be fairly straightforward.
Let's
Do
get
we
in
want
there
to
and do
try
our
to just go through
investigation.
the gate?
I push on the gate. Is it locked?
So the gate is not locked, but it creaks really loudly
Okay,
when he
oh.
pushes.
I don't walk through it. I just give it a little nudge to see if it's open, if it's unlocked. Well, the gate's open.
A
It's
little
rather
noisy, though.
squeaky,
Perhaps
though.
we should just go up and over. I mean, it's not a very tall wall.
I'm
Easy
aware.
to scale, I'm sure, for everybody here. I can't imagine there's any
Um,
shorter members who would have trouble scaling a wall of this height.
Why are you looking at me?
Actually, I was looking at him.
I only have to jump a foot. I can make it.
I imagine, with all due respect, Milo, if you don't, if it's not insensitive, I've known a couple of Herringon before. I know that y'all can jump.
Yes, we have hops.
My suggestion is get over this wall on maybe one of the sides with fewer windows, with the area that doesn't have direct eyesight to where we're jumping.
Let's get to it.
So
Good idea.
So like over here, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Same exact.
Yeah, that's just me
Like,
saying that
okay,
on the
alright.
second floor there's
Easy enough.
windows as well.
Right when we get here, you hear an orc grunt for the jump and clasp to the ledge, and then I just pull myself up and over.
Okay, so I request an athletics check here.
Oh no.
Pretty sure that's a big succeed. Yeah, that's 25.
Okay. Clears that easily. Basically, if he failed that, he was going to be able to do it, but it was going to require a stealth check. I'm going to say, oh yeah, chin ups.
There we go.
He succeeds so well that he's able to showboat a little bit.
One extra rep in there, just one. Getting warmed up before this tassel we have. I'll lower myself.
Do a barrel roll.
So with his success on the athletics check, he just gets to lower himself down, especially with such a high one.
I'll do my dainty little monk upsy daisy.
Whoops.
So I think everyone, I ask everyone who's going to try and scale the wall to make an athletics check.
Roger.
I would be giving myself a running start to it. I don't know if that's going to modify the check at all.
It will not.
I'm going to use my 10 feet of hops.
Out of 11, 7 on the die should suffice.
Paragon's
17,
just being
yeah,
able to
sorry.
jump.
Yeah, that'll be a 21.
He didn't even have to make it. He didn't even. So Milo didn't even have to make the check because he was able to just jump because of his
That's plus 6.
character features. Now,
16. Plus 1. Sorry.
so Tarax does not succeed on the check, and so basically I say, he fails to get over there quick enough, or rather without making no noise. So I ask him to make a stealth check, since essentially he wasn't able to get up there without struggling, and it causes some of his equipment to bang
Do we
up.
see him struggling?
20 with the mod.
Yeah, he passes the stealth check though, so it's not a big deal. Basically, what I say is that he notices some of the stuff is starting to clang, so he stops and moves a little bit slower. It struggles a little bit more. It's a little bit harder on him, but he's able to prevent any additional noise from alerting anyone.
Okay. Are we correct in this 5-foot area being the wall, and then the grass is inside the wall? Okay. I would just like to slowly encroach, not directly in front of the window, but just kind of listen. And if I don't hear anything, I'll give a slight little peek.
Okay, so there are no lights inside.
Mhm.
Basically, I say he needs to make a perception check.
No. Nope. Yep. I don't.
Perception check at disadvantage, and he doesn't have dark vision.
Disadvantage. Okay.
Now, normally a perception check based on sight with dim lighting would be a -5, but I'm doing it specifically on
that's
hearing.
going to be... So I am observant, so that will help out a little bit.
Actually, I don't think it does. We check here in a second about the feature.
Oh no, that's to passive.
Yeah, there he called it.
I wouldn't add that, right? If it's to passive perception. Okay.
I double check the observant feature.
Passive
Just to
perception and investigation.
passive perception and investigation.
Yeah. Leave it up to you.
It's because it's a half price
What did
fee.
I get? A 9 plus 4, so a 13 to my perception.
What I described to him is he doesn't hear anything, so he goes ahead and peeks in. But because he doesn't have dark vision, he can't really see anything. And so he's unable to get much.
All right.
So I'll kind of just make my way back to the group here.
Are you able to see anything?
It's way too dark. You might need to go give it a peek.
All right, I'll go ahead and give it a shot. Can I see in?
So because these are not sound based, I just have him make a perception check, regular, not at
Yes,
disadvantage.
I'm specifically trying to look in, trying to get a visual on.
And he does have dark vision, so he doesn't take a -5 penalty or anything.
That's pretty good. That's an 18 on the die plus 6, so 24.
And so what he's going to see here is a chair in the corner, and we're going to have to sort this out. So you guys noticed I was putting enemy figures up there. I'm on the GM layer of Roll20. If you've never used Roll20 before, there's a GM layer which hides stuff from the players. And I didn't realize that I was...
Your ping
wherever
target
you're
coming up.
indicating. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
So-
seeing any ping. Not seeing any ping targets.
Because
so
I'm
I
on the
don't know where
GM
you are
layer, they don't see my
indicating.
pings either. So he makes a good call out here.
We saw yours earlier. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we saw it earlier, so I don't know what happened. Are you on a different layer, like one that we don't have visual to?
Yep, he called it exactly. I'm on the GM layer. Now I'm back on the token
Oh,
layer.
okay, there we go.
So there's a
So-
chair
okay, so-
there in that corner. That's what he can see there. He's
Okay.
a chair here. And then there's a door, a closed door specifically there.
Closed
And
door
from his
there.
angle, he can't really see anything else. It's just a hallway. It looks to be a hallway with a door and a chair in those locations. Can't really
Gotcha.
see anything
A
further down.
continuous hallway going.
Yeah, he can
Okay,
he can
gotcha.
tell that there's a hallway going that way, but he can't tell how far it goes or if there's anyone
And I
else
don't
in it.
see anybody in the hallway as far as I can tell. All right. All right. So I don't see anybody in there. It looks like this window's just to a hallway. I think I can get in, but as for getting the rest of us in, I don't know enough of the layout to tell whether or not I should have you meet me by the north or the south door, as far as that's concerned, or if y'all just want to hang out here while I try to investigate on my own.
How high are the windows off the ground? Like, are they like a decent little?
3 feet. The
Okay,
standard.
so that shouldn't be an issue.
Oh, so I still can't see over them. Just kidding.
Check the window.
One more time.
Andrew, check the window.
Check. The upper window.
No, there's one on the ground and upper.
Right, but I thought I was looking in the window. Now,
You
Like,
are.
if it's
what he's-
open. Yeah.
to try and open the window. Oh, I guess I should ask. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Does it appear that these windows open, like any hinges to where they could open?
So what I say here is that there are hinges on the outside, but there's nothing to grasp on the outside to open the windows. There's
Okay.
no handles or anything, but there are hinges, so it does open, but
Gotcha.
not from the outside.
Should be open like from the inside. You could push it out, but okay.
Are there-
I don't think I'm properly equipped to try and open it from this side. But if I get in, I could possibly push it open to let the rest of y'all in.
Are there any balconies on the upper floor?
There are not. The windows have like a little ledge, but it's certainly not enough to stand on. Easily, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I suppose we're just gonna have to try a door.
Not necessarily. I true. Can I get a sense? And maybe I can't. But can I get a sense from the hinges? An idea of how wide the window could open? Like, would it barely peek open and like nobody would be able to shimmy in, or would I be able to tell if I could open this window enough to allow my team members to squeeze in through the window if I were able to get in and open the window?
Make an investigation check.
Ooh, not great at those, but hopefully I'll roll high. Or I could roll a natural 1 and just have no clue how windows work. How can I even see through this?
And so what?
Gosh, I hang on. Let's see here. Investigation. That's a total of 2. 1 plus 1.
Okay. So what I tell him is that, like, as far as he can tell, if it were to open, it would be
thank
able to be
goodness.
pushed all the way open. He does know how windows work. But there might be something on the inside that would prevent that he just can't, he can't know if there's something in there that would stop it, like a bar on the inside that would prevent it from opening any further. So as far as he knows, it's possible, but he really can't say.
Like, well, I know I have a way in, and I think I can open this window enough for y'all. Or we could try the doors. I know that we haven't actually gone around to try the doors yet. Seeing as how the gate was unlocked, that's actually a little suspicious now, isn't it? Was it just a slave? Was not a slave, sorry, a servant, being a bit.
A slave.
What are they just being a little negligent in their duty, or did perhaps somebody get here before us? Now I don't know what's going on. I'm getting a little irritated. Wanna
So,
punch somebody.
what do we like from the layout of the house? Do we get a feel for what the front quote unquote side would be?
So I wish I'd have made him make an investigation check for this, but essentially I just say, because he walked the whole perimeter, and that there's shrubs here in the front, and there's 2 additional windows So you probably this southern door would be
So
the
I
front.
imagine up to our north is going to be the back side of the house. Do we suggest we try that, or do we think that's where the retainers would reside?
Through something of like a servant's entrance.
Agreed,
That said,
yes.
if there's any, if any guards are left, there's going to be some, I imagine, at both the rear and the front.
So hearing that, Milo tries to sneak around the back and just puts his ear up to the back door just to see if he hears any movement going on. Because we said through this window, there's a door here.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm gonna press with that.
All right, because he's a Haragon, I didn't make him do this at disadvantage, but I asked him for just a regular perception check based on hearing.
14.
He hears the termites inside the.
14, and he doesn't hear anything. It sounds all quiet in there.
So come back, kind of peek around the side of the building. I don't hear anything on the inside as of right now.
Okay, I'll take that as a cue to go ahead and wander
Yeah.
around to the backside.
Yep. Stealthily.
Yes. Very, very quiet. It's wabbits. I mean,
So, who wants to try the door?
Oryx gives it a little wiggle wiggle. Yeah, a silent one.
So I asked for a stealth check on this,
Nat 20.
or a sleight of hand check,
Nat
I
20.
think.
Nat
Can't
20,
remember
all
which.
right.
So I basically say he very slowly opens it, tries to turn the knob on the door until it just won't turn anymore, and then he releases it because it is in fact locked.
Suppose the door's not like the gate. Would any of you be proficient in picking?
Not so
I'm
much picking, but I
fairly
am proficient at
dex-
kicking.
I am fairly dexterous. However, I don't believe I have any tools to accommodate.
Should we go back to Renshaw's window theory?
Ooh.
A kick would be a very loud entrance
Or we could knock.
on the back
Perhaps not a
door.
good idea. We're trying to covertly enter.
We might be able to get around with a way of words.
I mean, I'm a little charming. You're a little more charming, but I don't know if we have anybody here quite charming enough for that.
My hammer's pretty charming.
We'll consider that Plan Z.
It's too far down the alphabet for me.
All right. Well, if we don't have anyone that can help,
Does
persuade
anyone
this
have
door to
any
open quietly.
thieving tools? I could give it a shot. I'm not terrible.
I haven't such
Don't
tools on me.
can find just splinters.
Hairpins? Anything?
All right, back to the window it is. We need to
To
get
the window.
moving.
There we go. Yep.
I got a mesh kit that has just simple cutleries, just makeshift a toolkit.
Sure. Why not?
MacGyver.
I take his fork and knife.
Oh gosh. And
And
attempt to
I,
jury rig a pick lock or a lock pick.
I go, sorry in advance, and I bend back until the fork looks like this.
I still have to eat.
And then I use the knife as the base for the pick locking,
Yeah.
And
So he's not proficient
I'm
in thieves'
not,
tools.
so it's just going to be a raw sleight of hand check.
So it's not sleight of hand. What I tell him is this is a dex check in general, just a general dex check, and that because it's not the proper tools, he's going to make it a disadvantage.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
And so what he rolls...
Come on, roll
Alright.
20. Give us 2 nat 20s. Let's do it.
Nope.
No.
That's going to be a 9 total.
That's not enough. It was going to be a difficult check as well. I think I
Fork
had the
breaks off in
DC
the
in my
door.
head checked at 16. So medium to high or medium to hard difficulty there. It's 16, 18. I can't remember exactly. But essentially, he jimmies it for a while, and it's getting to the point where
In that time,
it's going to take too much.
Alright,
It's making too much noise.
I pull the fork back out of the keyhole, and then I like try to bend the prongs backward, and I go, sorry.
dang. Okay, so in that time, am I able to figure out that the window's open enough where I can squeeze through it?
No, and again, we just go back to the say that there's no way to pull them out. They're pretty well fit against the wood of the house. So without a crowbar or
Okay.
something, there's no way to pry them open.
Okay.
We have a wonky fork.
We do have a knife.
I have a way in. I have a way in.
By all means.
Well, then let's use
All
that.
right. I figured we could explore other options. I can only do this particular trick so many times before I need to meditate and regain it. So, since I can see into the hallway, face step. Bamf. Just bamf right in.
In this time, right when he was picking the lock, he thinks he gets it. He just opens the door. Rachel just opens the door. Yes. Oh.
No, but I'm going to once I'm in, I'm going to push on the window or see if there's if there's any sort of lock on the inside for the window. Make sure it's unlatched, but I'm going to try and push the window open, see how far it can go.
So I do ask him to make a stealth check here, because I know face step doesn't make any noise, but the added pressure on the wood, I essentially say that it creaks. And so he's while he's looking around, gathering his bearings, I basically say he kind of takes steps, and I want him to make a stealth check, and that he sees that it is in fact an open area, and that there is in fact a latch on the window that he can unlatch and open up.
All right. It doesn't actually make sound, but no, that's fair. That's fair. The 16. Yeah. Sorry, 18. 18. I can math. Mhm.
And so with that high stealth check, he's able to undo the latch quietly.
Okay.
And open it up, pushing it all the way.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay.
And I basically say at that point,
So
right as he opens it, is
how
essentially
far can I
when
gently push that window open?
he can push it all the way. And essentially, as he's pushing it open, that's about
Oh,
the same
perfect.
time that
There we go.
Or just silently jumps right in through the window.
Milo's getting his cutlery back.
I imagine we didn't really catch much of this over here, so.
Yeah, and I say they didn't, but Terrax probably did, as he's just kind of looking one way and then the other.
Tarex is watching Mon do his thing. It's like, could just, I'll let him keep going. Maybe.
Yeah.
When I climb in, Ulrich pops his head back out. Aye, over here.
Yes, I do. Auric. I follow Auric.
Get the others.
Nerds.
Nerd. I'd forgotten about that.
The nerds come to the window, and then we
I
all.
don't even know what that is.
And I say everyone who's not Ranshaw needs to make a stealth check here. If they're going to enter the house, Ranshaw already having made that stealth check.
Yep,
Right.
I'll get out of the way
That
so
was-
people have room to get in.
18.
That wasn't terrific. Luckily, I'm pretty good at stealth, so it's 13.
And so basically, they just needed to pass an 11 here. The passive perception of the enemies that are in the house is not very high. That's just me checking that passive perception there real quick.
My map is working out. Okay, we're good.
So everyone makes it in and they kind of stop to listen. As far as they can tell, there's no additional movement.
Okay. I
Alright.
assume these are stairs.
He's correct. Those are stairs. But from his area, he can't really see anything since he's in that kind of corner. But as he was walking in, he would be able to see it.
Yeah, and still don't see anybody within this area, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Well, start.
Start stealthily making our way. Yep.
As the chair creaks.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank you for the atmospheric sound.
trying to get the wood floors.
Kind of get a. So is Ping. There we go. Is here still upward progression, or is this where it plateaus at the top of the stairs?
No, that is additional
Okay,
stairs. It will continue
so
up.
The base of the stairs is gonna just kind of listen up the stairs a little bit.
Okay, so I asked for a perception check.
Okay. Goodness gracious.
We are
Not great.
shipping you some
8.
dice.
And the passive stealth of these guys was pretty much the same as their passive perception. So if he'd have gotten an 11 or higher, he probably would have heard a little bit of movement upstairs.
Don't like
All right.
this.
Well,
Yeah.
head down as I'm going past the decline of the stairs,
Yep.
slowly but surely.
Do we think that the map could be down here?
I think it'd make more sense for it to be kept in maybe a
And this is, I tell Chase to move here and then make me a dexterity
Okay.
saving
or a
throw.
study or something.
But what makes
Well,
more sense could
as
make
I'm kind
less
of like
sense.
talking over my shoulder while they're saying this, she
Hiding
said
in
that
plain
she's been
sight.
on the first floor. It's not going to be down here, most likely.
I reinforce, I need
Yep.
that dexterity saving throw.
That's going to be a 16.
And I made that
Yeah.
against the passive perception
Dex
because
saves.
what he sees is he leans back to talk to them, and then he sees what he's about to see here and holds his arm out and catches them and pushes them back a little bit slowly. Because what he sees, once I get back onto the GM layer here, and then I have to navigate back here, is a guard sitting in that chair and looking out the window. I over-rotated him here. He'll change. But basically, he stopped them from walking out any further because he sees that. The guard does not see them.
Man, am I glad we chose the direction we did.
Okay.
So I tell him he can move his token back and he prevents anyone from walking forward. And here's
It's
where
wrong, man.
we're going to get very whispery.
I just kind of go. My finger's not showing up, so silently, I just go. I mouth one. God. Left window.
That likely means there's more. Let's get after it.
Welcome to the ASMR session.
It's for the views. And now I'm going to pull my hammer out of my belt.
Adventurous in more ways than one. This is...
Gosh darn it.
This is the short.
Oh my gosh. Ah.
We're speaking in whispers.
Yes, we.
I think this is where I say that fairly adventurous part.
Oh god.
Yeah,
All
that's
I'm
a...
gonna say
I say
is
fairly
any
adventurous.
session of this campaign is going to have any session of this campaign is going to have to be done in all whispers, just like that. I demand it for FA.
Oh my gosh.
So this just in. All right.
All right. Well, if he's facing out the window, like out this front right one.
Do you
Well,
think
if
we can sneak
he's
past him?
preoccupied looking out front, then I am just gonna try and slowly make my way around while keeping a side eye on him and also making sure there isn't anything going on up the stairs.
Should we try to sneak past him, or should we try to just rush him and take him down, put him to sleep?
Let me bonk his head.
And I do make Chase make an additional stealth check here because he's moving around. But again, that passive
roll
perception of these guys is not great.
Well, I mean, it is a 14.
I mean, Chase had a 25% chance of failing there because they're an 11. If it meets, it beats. He'd only need a 5. Well, actually, he's only a 20% chance of failing there.
Well, so as he's saying, do we sneak past him? Mon's
Already
sneaking past him.
sneaking past him.
All right then.
Kind of just follow suit because I know where my skills.
And then I
lie, and it's
RKO the
not
piano.
bonking
No.
someone on the head.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep creeping.
All right, so now we're getting to the upper floors here. So I go ahead and move that. Now, of course, they don't see anything beyond the doors. What I think I say is that all the doors are closed except for this.
So I'm here.
Alright, well, since my good friend Mon didn't attempt to silence the guard, I'm also going to try and make my way up without disturbing the guard.
Okay, I request another stealth check from him as
Stealth
well.
check? That thing? It's getting late. That's a 16.
That passes.
All right.
He's very intent. And basically...
Well, who's next?
Of course.
and basically
Oric has his hammer and his shield out.
Yeah, and I just say here, I assume everyone had their equipment ready. Except for
Keep
that.
that thing on me.
Of course, the monks are always armed, is what I say
Until we
there.
face an amputation.
Their hands are weapons.
That would
We got
be-
legs.
It's true.
Oh, that's foreshadowing. He doesn't even know it yet.
Yes. Yeah. Until we become a legless ball of floof and rage. Yes, the floof mobility engines.
That's from a game that he played.
I'm gonna creep up, and then I see this first door. I presume it's closed.
Yeah, all the doors are closed
Okay.
except for...
And I'm just gonna listen through the first door.
Yeah, this is where I retcon that. I said everyone was closed
I'm
originally,
gonna try
but
to
that
follow
one's
suit
not.
up the stairs. 19.
Nice.
I'm getting annoyed now. I'm getting ready for battle.
No, this was a
We're
good
just
session
so
for the paladin
sneaky.
to set out.
We're just we're as sneak as
Cha-ching,
snakes.
cha-ching, cha-ching.
So basically, I rolled
I'm
luck
so-
die
okay.
here.
I'm so excited for one of these rolls. I just can't wait for some of these things to happen.
So basically, I roll a luck die and I say, all right, if it goes, it's a 50-50 shot that he moves here. And he rolled high, so he's like, oh. I'm tired of this crap.
Feels
I think I'm just saying he notices.
fair enough.
So, and I have everyone roll me initiative.
Initiative.
I don't mind railroad when it's funny. Oh, that feels good.
That would be an 11. Oh, he doesn't appear to be.
He's been moving his token.
Oh, yeah, he has been.
Yeah, I
Weird.
think this happened
So,
before. On
what we're
my
asking
last
about is
campaign.
because down here where everyone's
like,
names
for
and
some
stuff
reason,
are,
he doesn't show up.
um,
Yeah, his name doesn't show up, but he is able to manipulate his token. It's weird.
yeah, Terax Alazard's name was not showing up, and so I got worried that he got dropped and we just didn't notice.
I don't know why. We all know that Roll20 is famously without any bugs or issues.
It is free though. So we're
25 or above. Oh,
Milo
yeah,
with the 25.
25.
A 9+.
To initiative 9.
I'm looking for.
Yo, hey.
I don't think
20.2.
I don't think I need a comment over here. Everyone kind of does their initiative thing.
23
Now, if you're
with a
wondering what the
4 on
0.2 is and the 0.9 is, I asked them what the modifiers are, and I typed them in as 0.9 into an Excel because and then I
No.
and then I sort it by highest to lowest, and the 0.9
be
essentially
watching.
represents the modifier for any ties.
I always feel like
That's why I do that.
11. Yep.
Excuse me.
Roll the 12. 12 bonus 4. 12 with bonus of 4. Sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna be watching.
No, and I already rolled the initiative for the guards here pre-fight.
Yeah, I
Do your
guess
thing.
I would have probably been trying to follow everybody else up the stairs, so eventually I would have turned that corner.
So
I guess
basically what I say
noticing
there is
the
that
guard
technically he
noticing
didn't see
walk up
him,
the stairs.
but it's his turn, and as long as he moves, he'll basically see him. So I say it takes an extra couple movement to get around Terax there, but he's able to do that, and he sees the guard, and now he
That's
can
fine.
fire.
I get 10 extra feet of movement the first of each turn. So with that, seeing him, I'm going to pull out the blade and go for a Dread Ambusher attack.
Puppy.
14 on the die. Yeah. So,
And these guys are just wearing hide armor, so their AC's 11. They're pretty easy to hit. They have a little bit of HP to them.
6 points of slashing. And then because I made an attack, I will get an additional second attack.
That Dread Ambusher on the Gloom Stalker is
15 on
pretty
a
good.
die. And then I get an additional D8 with this as well. 12 slashing damage.
So you didn't roll very high, but 18 in your
swear,
first turn is pretty
You're all
good.
timid and mild outside of combat. The moment combat starts, you become the bunny from Monty Python.
You see like all the hair kind of just like stand up on the back of his neck when he
Come the rabbit
the
of
ears kind
Caravan.
of flip backwards.
Bite his bloody head off.
And I'm just reading the Dread Ambusher, which is a nice feature that Roll20 added recently, where you can have your character sheet uploaded.
It is very cool. It's mechanically one of the stronger ranger options.
And so it's nice being able to go in there and just check the wording of the player's features. But he's going to go in there and he's going to make a couple strikes there. And like I said, didn't roll super high on his damage rolls, but anytime you can go in there in one round, do 18 at level.
In mine.
Level 3 is not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Well, let's see here. So, am I aware that there's an altercation at the bottom of the stairs now?
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, there's combat noises. He gets hit, so there's grunts of pain.
Okay, good. Turn around. I see. Oh, look, guards at the bottom of the stairs, looking over my dwarf friend. Okay. And Milo is engaged in combat there, and I just think, oh, crap. We got to end this as quickly as possible. I'm going to attempt to go down the stairs past past Auric and go and support Milo's efforts. I don't know what kind of movement shenanigans are going to be required there.
So initially I asked for an athletics check here, and of course, them being monks, they prefer to use acrobatics. And so I ask him...
It's a ninja warrior check. You just the wall.
Athletics, interesting.
So I basically ask him, describe how you do it, and we'll make a call.
I'll admit, I was going to make an argument for acrobatics, considering
So I initially say, choose which, but then
right.
I'm like, tell me how you do it, and we'll figure it out.
Well, then shoot. I'm going to do monk stuff down, even though I'm not at a high enough level for the actual, the wall walking thing. But yeah, it's narrow enough. I do the whole, bouncing off the wall, kind of walking on the walls or jumping between the walls, kind of a parkour thing down.
And so what I say is that we could consider that there is a banister on the left side of the stairs here. So what he does is kind of jump onto he kind of kicks off the wall, uses the banister as a ledge, and then hops over Auric, landing on the bottom flank of the stairs. And so to ensure he doesn't fall prone and make that's
very fair.
Acrobatics check.
That's a 12 total. Yeah,
12 total. 12 total. And what I was going to say here is that if it's high enough that he doesn't fall prone,
there's a nice little bump.
But it makes a big noise, and what that's going to do is alert the guys on the second floor.
Well, what's done is done. I am going to go up. I know that it won't provide actual flanking, but I'm going to get over here, and I'm going to attempt to punch at the back of this guard's head non-lethally. I'm going to try and put him to sleep. I don't want to kill him. He may be bleeding, but I don't want to kill him. So, attack numero uno. That's going to be a 12 to hit. Man.
And a 12 will hit. Again,
nice.
they're just on hide armor.
Right.
This is just essentially a thug.
And that's going to be for 8 bludgeoning. He's still up. You know what? Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm going to go ahead and burn my final discipline point to flurry of blows this.
Now, he only has about...
I don't believe we got a short rest.
I think he only has about 1 hit point here.
Well, that's a 19 on the die to hit.
That'll hit, and that'll pretty much knock him out. He does do it non-lethally.
But for minimum, so 5 bludgeoning. And then attack number 2.
Oh, maybe you have
natural 20.
Yeah.
Does this one double the dice?
This.
Yay.
So also, guys, we are the.
Oh my gosh! I love the overkill, except not killing. Yeah. So we'll say, yeah. Well, I'll go in. My first 2 blows are actually more like some body blows to the back, like to the to the kidney, a little bit to the spine, and then the final one is just gonna be right to the. Yeah, and then the final one's gonna be right to the base of the skull. Could be lethal, but of course I am a honed weapon, and I know exactly how much force to apply to make sure it's not lethal, but it is a knockout.
So we're going to describe him knocking it out there, and he does make noise as he hits the ground. But what I was about to say is that as of the time of this recording, the new PHB information had just been released like a couple days, maybe like a week earlier. And so the new crit rules were released, and Andrew and I are not particularly fans. If you guys are fans of it, let us know in the comment section.
All right.
He's just thumping over, making a thud noise.
Yeah.
So again, the guys upstairs are basically aware that there's
Reaction
stuff
try
going on
catch him
now.
so he doesn't land with the thud? No. It's fine. That's right.
Red sleepy.
He's sleepy. All right. Okay. So, chances are somebody heard that, but just in case not, we should all get up and be ready.
Oryx a little disappointed. I hear all the commotion behind me. I swing, turn around real quick with my shield and my hammer, and then as I see this guy falling, my shoulders just slump out of sadness, not being able to.
Yeah. Jump and blur
Yeah.
past you.
Start describing the monk jumping over him and him. Yeah, no, I don't need to get down there.
I turn back and I start going up. So I'll be. Okay, so that was
We are remaining
10,
in combat
15?
for now.
20.
Okay.
Then I'll do 25, 30, and then ready an attack if anybody comes through this door.
Okay. Now, of course, as everyone should know now, you can't hold your
Am I able
turn. You
I wouldn't
can't
be
hold
able
your
to
action.
Rage during that ready, would I?
So, I was going to say, technically, you could bonus action rage. You'd ready.
We're basically going to say, yeah, you could
Right,
bonus
you
action
use a
rage
rage
before
already.
you take the ready. However, since he doesn't make an attack on his turn, if he doesn't
Yeah.
get attacked,
I wouldn't recommend raging beforehand.
because he'll lose the rage if he doesn't get attacked.
Okay, I'll just ready an attack.
Okay, so no rage. Haha, sucker. So now we're officially going to put these guys on the token layer here. One here. Now that's a veteran stat block. Should have done that. Token layer. And now he's going to move up, open the door, trigger the attack. Josh's held attack.
18 to hit.
That
Hey, that's good.
does hit. Now veterans have an AC of 17, so that barely hit.
9 bludgeoning.
Well, that's a good strike, but it's still plenty of fight left in that veteran who has either 54 or 57 hit points. I forget which. So he's immediately surprised to get hit, but he's got multi-attack. He's got 2 attacks with the long sword and 1 with the short sword. And when he notices that he's dual wielding now, what I'm saying is that my white die is going to represent the short sword. And I believe every attack hits here.
It hits.
Yeah, the lowest was a 17 or
It
on
does
the
not.
die. No. Not 17 on die. I think the lowest was like a 15 on
So
the
he has
die.
2
So with
long
the
swords?
+5, it was a
No,
natural
he
20.
made, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Remember, you're a magnet to enemies with multi-attack.
Yeah, that's my quarrel in stars and suggestions. I keep fighting these enemies.
So all the attacks hit him, and because he didn't rage, they're all for the full damage. And so I think it ended up being like 19 points total.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna get mad.
I'd be very mad.
You're gonna get mad.
I should have raged, Andrew. Just kidding.
I mean,
Who would have known?
I would have known.
Yeah, sure.
good point.
You were the
Yeah,
first one to speak up.
The moment he
because
was,
you
yeah,
knew.
the moment he was like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" That's when you're like, "Yes, I absolutely want to do that." When the DM tells me no, that means yes.
Excellent. All a part of the plan. But he's going to do that, and that's going to be the end of his turn. There's nothing you can do with the bonus action. I almost flared him up a little bit and made him have Shield Master and drop the short sword, but I decided to leave it. So next one up is this guy. They go back to back. So I gave them a little bit of a boost here. Instead of putting him right at the door, I basically said he started at that window. So 5, 10, do 15, 20, 25, and then he's just going to attack, or 30, whatever it is. And he's going to attack Chase, but because there's a banister in the way, I basically gave Chase half cover. Since he's attacking him with a sword through the banister. And Chase's AC is already high. The monk with his subclass is already at 18, so.
You'd have missed without the half cover.
Yeah, he does miss.
There is no enemies on the current floor I'm on, right?
Not awake.
Yeah, true.
Okay. I don't want to go over there and kick that guy's head, so I do want to go upstairs.
And now, keep in mind here, he is, Levi is easily the least experienced player on the board, so we'll walk him through. So 40 feet of movement will get him here.
The renowned pinky toe break.
The snap.
Basically, I say he can attack him here if he would like, but he'll get essentially 3/4 cover, or he can, bonus action, step of the wind to get up the full distance. We'll take a second here to explain it. And I think he decides he just wants to attack. I could be wrong about that. I'm just let's see.
Yeah, you have an additional 10 feet of movement, and if you wanted more, Step of the Wind allows you to bonus action dash without spending your discipline point.
At any time.
Look at this monk stuff.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We took the playtest monk for 1 D&D.
Okay.
We liked it. That is what we are utilizing.
Basically,
So my flavor Step of the Wind earlier, did that take a key point? Okay.
I'm going to give him the benefit of that one because I in my head I hadn't tracked it.
If you're just doing it for basically the dash, then it shouldn't have, because
it would have been like an out of combat bonus action, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
However you want to view it.
I mean, he could have also just been a dash action, so we're not gonna count it against him here. It was flavor stuff. It was unnecessary.
Yeah, I'm at 14 HP.
And this is me saying this. So
he took damage from the fight. We haven't had a chance to short rest.
Yeah, I didn't want them to. I wanted them, if they spent key points or discipline points as they're now called, I wanted that to count, but I didn't mean for them to take damage from the fight just because the fighting mechanics are done differently.
Okay.
In the future, I might look at that, but it'll be at a reduced thing. So basically, and we can go into this more later, but basically, every time they had to make
to the death.
Yeah, every time they had to make a con save, they got fresh hit points, and so there's really no reason to do that. So, I didn't want them to count that against them. It was never meant to be a detriment in combat. So I just say, yeah, if you use resources like discipline points for flurry of blows, you lost those, but not health.
This guy, then I'll have to use my bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, use his bonus action to get Step of the Wind because he doesn't quite have the movement to get there. But he still has the action.
I will attempt to punch this guy.
Okay, so I'll roll to hit. Now these guys have 27 HP.
What is that? That is 20.
20 will hit. AC of only 11.
There we go.
That's a 10. I'm rolling well.
Wow.
Goodness gracious, you are just nuking everyone today.
I'm getting annoyed. I'm going to have to check his dice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Decisions. I'm gonna like tuck in this corner up here. I'm gonna be like, he's mollywopping that guy and he's mollywopping that guy, so they got it sorted. I'm just gonna try this door.
All right, so free action to interact with the door here. And what he finds is just a dark room. And so I ask him, he can't see anything. And so basically what I say is you can't see anything. If you'd like to take your action to make a perception check, you can kind of feel around the room.
My action is gonna be feeling around the entire room.
If he wants to view in there, yeah. If he wants to get an understanding.
Yes.
And again, rules is written. If you want to make a skill check in
cool.
combat, it is considered an action. Obviously, there's
That's
reasons to play with that, but I felt like it was justified here because it's going to be kind of blindly feeling around. It's going to take time and it's going to take concentration. So I felt that was justified. So he makes his perception check. And essentially what he said, what I say that he feels is while he's feeling around, he notices that it's a linen closet. There's shelves and stuff with towels and various things around, but he does find a chest.
Okay. It would be an action to pick it up, yeah.
I gave him I basically say, we could say it's another free action because he opened the door and that doesn't take a lot. But he can just open up that chest. It's not locked. And again, those actions to feel the perception check. I mean, we can say this is part of it if he found a little bit quicker. I'm of the mind that when you make these full actions to take just kind of perception checks and whatnot, I mean, it's better for the players if you give them a little leniency if they discover something with that perception check. It's brutal to have to spend an entire action in combat doing something like this. I mean, granted, he made the choice to do it, but still.
I mean, I can gather what it could potentially be. So the only further thing I do with my turn, I suppose, I guess I'm over here now. Would just be to grab what I can from inside it, the pouches as well as the parchment.
Yeah, and so basically I said there's papers and like a couple leather pouches that he picks up. And then what I say is if you want to pick that up, we'll just call it the bonus action for his turn. So basically he gets in there, kind of finds the chest, opens it up, and just gathers everything he can in his arms.
All right. I would assume with everything that's going on upstairs, I at least can tell that we're making a little bit of noise in here.
Absolutely. There's yelling now too. I mean, people are engaged in combat. There's screams, there's sword play, there's punching, there's grunts of pain. He knows what's going on.
So I'd want to make it to this other door that's down here. I think, yeah, I can make that. And then try to open that just to make sure there's no one else down here. In this area.
Reaction?
Make sure no one made their way around.
Free action, and I know he has dark vision. I think I asked him just to clarify. Yeah, he does have dark vision. What he can see is that it's a kitchen. There's no one he can see, and he feels like he could have a full view of everything if he just peeks his head. The only thing he wouldn't be able to see would be this, this left corner here that I'm about to ping. Mm-hmm. So you can't be sure there's no one there, but from what he can see and gather and the layout he knows about, yeah, he's fine.
That's all my movement. Just can't really go anywhere else.
He'd have more movement. Basically, he thought that we counted every diagonal as 10 feet, and we don't. It's every other diagonal.
I started from here.
Which is just, it works out.
You can make the diagonal.
Yep.
Gotcha.
The Pythagorean theorem works out really, really well if you count every other diagonal space going the same direction as an extra 5 feet of movement. It's almost perfect. If you round, it's perfectly to 5 feet. So he moves in 5 extra feet, and I say that, yeah, from that perspective, he could peer out and
Yeah,
confirm
that's
that
all I got. So,
there's nothing in that
yeah,
corner.
let's get in. Cool.
And that's all he wanted to do.
I've got nothing that help, so
So we're back to the
Alright,
top of the initiative.
Obviously I can hear fighting upstairs.
Obviously, since
so
Milo's the
I'm gonna go
first.
check
So
that out.
Ranshaw's going to get engaged here.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Correct.
Okay. How tall is the banister here?
Basically, I say the banister is about 3.5, 4 feet. But he's not, and it starts at his
Gotcha.
shoulders. He's not all the way up. He's still down on the stairs
So
here.
I would like to try. Hang on. Is there some way I can acrobatics my way over to here?
I say with this one that there's really no acrobatics here. To pull himself up onto that banister,
Athletics?
it is going to be athletics. If he wants to save movement here.
All right, I'd like to try that.
I say if he makes it, though, we'll consider it like he'd be able to get over there with the
Okay.
movement.
Nat 1 for a total of 3.
So basically now
Well, I
he
don't
tries to
think
get
I'm
over the banister. What I described to him here is he tries to get over the
I had
banister, but he
20 feet
fails.
of movement remaining.
So we're going to say that it takes the full 20 feet of movement to get up onto that banister, and his foot slips,
Yeah.
but he stops himself from falling, and so now he's basically up where the banister
Okay.
is with the banister in front of him. But because his foot slipped, he's hanging onto that banister now.
Gotcha.
And so what I'm going to say is that if he wants to take his bonus action or his action,
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
to get
Even if
his
I can't
extra
attack, I'd like to
movement,
provide, try to get around to
he
provide
can
my
do
ally
that.
with some sort of flanking.
So he's not going to be able to attack him. But we're using surrounding rules, which I think we've gone over a little bit. But essentially, if you're in a flanked position, now flanking in the DMG or PHP just gives you advantage on all attacks. We don't do that.
I rage.
Flanking
I did
will.
not think. Okay, whenever you rage, enemies do not gain advantage attack rolls on you for any reason.
Yeah, his wild
got
magic
the
surge.
000.
He got the best option.
Whenever you're raging, enemies do not gain advantage on attack rolls against you for any reason.
You can reckless with impunity.
That's why it's the
So
best
I will be
option.
recklessing.
That's kind of good.
Yeah,
I
we took
did not expect 000s at
Ever.
all. Yeah.
we took
All right, so
the
I'm gonna
4
go ahead
options
and,
of wild magic
attack with
barbarian, and we
reckless
turned it
attack.
into 50
There
because
we
it was
go.
just too power. It was just too good. So we nerfed
He's
it a little
an
bit, but
angry
gave him
dwarf.
something
Nat
good.
20.
He's losing it.
There's a
He's
crit.
losing it.
For a total of 16 total, excuse me, with +2 from rage.
16 total damage. Good chunk.
Bludgeoning.
Seems good.
Bronk, go bonk.
That's being my turn. I will actually take just a step to my left since I'm right-handed. That way he's forced to maybe hopefully step out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do
That's
that.
a
We're
weird
not gonna say
loopy
that.
longsword then.
I can step through the threshold. I mean, listen, I'm a pretty generous
Okay.
DM, but I can't give them everything. They
Just
gotta have
leaning
some
up against
challenge.
the door frame and going, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just say he could step into the threshold and make his attacks without having to step all the way out. But the surrounding thing, the flanking activates surrounding, and then basically you get a modifier added to all your attack rolls based on the number of enemy figures surrounding the target. Or at least enemies that the target or figures that the enemy would consider enemies.
Since
My
he is the
goodness, I
veteran.
can't talk. But I think now it is the turn of the veteran, and the veteran takes his attacks on Auric. But he's the tactician.
Okay.
He knows Auric is he's kind of raging and resistant to him. So he wants to go get his ally some help. So I let Auric
21
take an attack of opportunity, which will do a good chunk.
And out of curiosity, being that do I still get my modifier on the reckless attack, or excuse me, the opportunity attack? Okay. That'd be a total of 13 bludgeoning damage,
which I believe brings him down to 20 health. So this fight's going really well for these
my
guys.
Modifier of 4 and then +2 rage. Oh, 13 bludgeoning. Oh, I had 21 on the dice, or excuse me, 21.
I didn't hear him initially, so I wanted to clarify. But essentially, this guy's the tactician. He sees his ally being surrounded here, so he's going to move in and take the shot and try and put some damage on Terax Alizard here, and activate his opponent's surrounding rules, which again just adds a +2. So the flank activates it, and then you get a +2 because there's 2 figures that that Terax would consider enemies adjacent to him, within 5 feet of him. So it's going to be a +2. Terax has an AC of 18. So this is basically a +7 on all the attacks. And I think 2 of them hit.
I would ask if you would roll them separately because of a monk feature.
Now, Andrew's helping Terax out here. Helping Levi out here.
Chance to look at it, Terax, but your deflect attacks would be a...
So what I'm going to say is I'm going to roll all the dice together, but I'll go through the damage individually. Because each one's going to add 3 plus the dice roll +3. I think it was a 4, 4, and a 2 that were rolled. So it's 7, 7, and 5.
That one or wait for another roll?
I'll wait for another one.
So both the 7s were longsword attacks. So he lets the first longsword attack land. I say the second one is also 7.
I'll deflect that one.
Very good.
Not a bad one.
Okay, how does that work?
So you use your reaction, you roll a d10, and then you add your dex mod plus your monk level, and you reduce it by that amount, which you're already reducing it by the 7 by dex mod plus monk level. So you just reduced it to 0, regardless of what you roll.
Yeah, because it was only 7. So.
And did you spend your last discipline point, or do you still have it?
No, I don't have any.
You don't have any discipline? Okay. Then that doesn't
No,
apply.
I do not have any.
Okay.
So basically what he was asking there is that could have deflected, if he had an extra discipline point, he could have deflected the extra, or the damage into an enemy target since he reduced it to 0. But he takes the first shot, flat blades the second shot, and then the short sword comes in and gets another slashing attack on his midsection for a total of 5 damage. So out of a total of 19 between the 3 attacks, he took 12. Which puts him, that's half his HP. That puts him down lower than you'd like, but certainly didn't knock him out. So then the blue guy goes up, and the blue guy's not a tactician. It makes a certain amount of sense for him to attack Terax, but I like to give some variety to my encounters. I like to try and put myself in the shoes of the enemies. So he's got 2 guys behind him. So I even and odd it. Odds go against Terax, evens go against Ranshaw. He rolled an even. So he's going to attack Ranshaw, even though he has a tactical advantage in attacking Terax.
Yep.
So he's going to roll to hit.
Right.
I think he misses. He only has a +4.
That will hit.
Okay, it will hit. Might have meet it beat. I think it meets it beat. So I think he rolled a 14 on the die +4 to give us the 18.
Cool. I'm going to deflect attacks.
No real reason. Ranshaw has full health here. These guys don't hit very
4,
hard, but
4 on dex mod, 3 on level, so that's 7. Roll a 10.
I think it was a 9
Roll a
damage
D10.
total.
Oh, look. Yeah. But just for funsies, that's a 6, so that's a 13 total that I reduce it by.
Yeah, I think the attack had like 8 or 9. It wasn't very hard attack here. But he deflects it. He takes no damage. And then we're going to go to now what should be either Terax's turn or Mon's turn.
Punch this guy.
Yep, Terax's turn. So he's going to punch
the veteran.
the veteran. Okay.
So which one's lower? Is the other guy lower?
So they can't know that, but we do remind him that he has surrounding activated on the blue thug here.
Yeah, okay.
So you'd get a bonus to hit.
Yeah, I'll attack that guy.
Okay. And he has not taken
I rolled a
damage at this point, I don't think.
Yes, sir. 15 plus, no, 15, 11 plus 4, so 15, 30.
Well, so your total to hit should be a +6 because it's your dexterity plus your proficiency.
Okay.
And then since you're attacking the guy that you have the surrounded bonus on, that's an additional +2. So
19. Be 19.
Total of 19. All right, that will hit. He'll roll damage, and because it's
another 10, keep him coming. That's another 10.
jeez.
that's
Wow.
ridiculous.
He's loaded.
What is he rolling?
We will need a camera for the dice at the very minimum.
Yep, you can still bonus action make 1 attack. You can't do the 2 attacks, but you can still make bonus action 1 attack if you want to do that. Or you could bonus action disengage and try to get into a more advantageous position for yourself.
No, bonus action attack the same guy.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Go on, Adam.
3 times.
Crit.
23.
That'll hit.
My modifier. Give me another one.
I think I say if you roll a d6 here, I'm leaving.
No, that is a 5.
5 total. Much lower. He rolled a 1. Yeah, I think I said if you roll a 10 here, I'm quitting. But he rolled minimum damage that time.
Okay, so do I just have the stuff in my hands? Would it be what would I need to just like stuff it in my bag real fast?
What I tell him is that he can make a sleight of hand check, and if he passes, then it'll be a bonus action. If he fails, it'll be his full action to stuff everything in his bag, is what I tell him. I've used that before in the past. I think that's a good way to balance that type of thing.
Okay, I'll just keep it in my hands then.
So he doesn't want to risk it.
And then I will waltz on over here and kick.
Kick. Technically, that works. Unarmed strikes never say that they have to be punches.
It is just an unarmed strike, and my legs don't have arms. That is going to be a 9. Plus 6, so a 15.
So that will miss. He's got that splint, which is an AC of 17.
I would like to bonus action flurry then for my last key point.
Okay. So this guy's only got 20 health points left. Chase could land both without critting, and
First
if he
one.
got max damage, then he would knock him
It's
out.
like it's just the Chun-Li kick.
That's fair. And again, I feel for a second I was trying to be too lenient in giving
That's 15
him
on the die, so plus 6.
15 too lenient in giving him all those kicks, but it works for the monk flavorfully. So all right, so there's max damage 1.
You know it, you love it.
That's 10. So 20 minus 10, he's down to 10. And he does have the second flurry of blows here, so he could theoretically knock him
16
out.
on the die.
16.
Do it again. All right,
5.
that's a 9. Sorry, it's a
1
9.
point
Sorry.
shy of knocking him out.
9.
And I
No.
tell him I tell him he was
I'd like
1
to spit
point
on
shy.
him and do one point of insult damage.
Tried it.
All right, so now we go back to the top of the initiative. So Milo should be up. And I'm really sad this
No,
part
I'm
in
not gonna allow you to
particular.
proc the opportunity attack.
I'm really sad to hear that this part got lost, this audio got lost.
Oh, quick
'cause
question, real fast.
I'm going to have to go over it.
Surrounding, does it have to be opposite sides?
So we're going to describe again. It's you have to have a flanking position to activate it, but then everyone counts for the bonus. But you do have to have a
Plus
flank.
3.
But since it's just me and
Terex, yeah.
Terex adjacent. Yeah.
Oh, he's
All right.
stepping up.
I imagine you'll be able to.
I'm stopping.
I would hope so.
But we'll go to Milo first. And again, I'm sad that this part when Milo hits, I'm sad that we lost the audio, but essentially I equate what happens
I'm
to
having a
him to
great
the
time.
Death Star, and we'll get to it in a second.
Might cook up some dinner.
Post-fight meal.
I guess I just want to get up there and let's just watch. So I'm going to bonus action. I don't know how to say this, but I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike.
Zephyr Strike. Great ranger spell.
First strike. Okay.
I've
Yeah.
only played a ranger once in my life, and I
I
use
just like to
Zephyr
watch from
Strike
the corner.
frequently.
Give me an damn. That gives me an additional 30 feet of movement.
It does.
So now up to 60. So that should get me. Let's see if I do this math right this time. So that's 5, 10, 15. And then doing another diagonal a second time is an additional 10. So 25, 30. And then that should get me up here. Being that I am at an angle, do I have?
Now, what I say is that there's no half
To
cover
attack.
here, since the banisher's not really in his way. It's just a diagonal strike.
Okay. Well, why not? Let's give a little bit of a poke.
Just a poke. Now, remember, he has 1 hit point left.
Now you make me not want to do it.
He has one. He has 1 hit point left. Literally any attack will hit.
15. Yes. Well, then that's me.
Well, he gets.
Oh wait, I lied.
So it's 15
The
total.
strike
That
gives me
missed.
advantage.
The Zephyr Strike gives him the advantage, so he's going to
One more
re-roll.
time. One more time.
That's better because that's a nat 20.
There we go.
I think he's very dead.
And I ask him how he wants to
Who's
do
gonna
it
get him
against
in
this
the
guy.
toe? Like right underneath the big nail. Just get my blade just to.
The dreaded toe touch.
So here's how I describe it. Unfortunately, the Empire built this man with just a critical weakness that will blow up the entire system if hit. And so he
Yeah,
lands
I mean,
it.
I'm under 3 foot. Everything that's bigger than me makes me mad.
Yeah, he hates that this guy's bigger than him. So basically, I'm going to
Absolutely.
equate this to the Death Star, where I say that's just like shooting Womp Rats back home. He gets it right underneath the nail, and the man just implodes because the Empire built him wrong.
The Achilles toe. Oh gosh.
I've gone from complete anger to complete disgust. I'm no longer a white rabbit. I'm now red. I'm just like,
Now you are literally the rabbit from Monty Python.
Yeah.
The holy hand grenade. Yeah, so that was a fun little thing to do there. I am sad that that original audio wasn't saved. That's probably
No,
the worst part of the whole thing about losing this audio. Other than having to sit here for an additional 3 hours and record it for you guys.
Because dead bodies in a major city cause questions.
Although this is entertaining to watch. I might be a little
All
biased
right,
here, but
well,
I'm finding
can't
this
do anything
entertaining.
about that guy who somehow exploded when the Herringon touched his toe. But I
you
can
didn't know it
try
was
to...
me.
It's proton Haragons, man. We're getting close here towards the end, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I do
guy in front of me
apologize that we're
gonna
having
try
to
and
do
just
this.
Whap with unarmed strike,
But
but
we're
with
getting close to the
intent
end.
To knock out, not to kill. Gosh.
Anti-murder hobo Andrew over here
Oh, that's a 19 on the die
will pretty much take in this fight right here.
for 8 points of bludgeoning. Okay. There we go.
Oh, Sandman. Bring me some sand.
And he goes
and
sleepy. So that'll end the fight.
Since we're about a half hour past.
Yeah, so Andrew Andrew has a hard out
Thank you.
at the 11 o'clock mark, and as you guys can kind of see down at the end, it's almost 11:30.
No, please. No,
So he's
keep me with the group.
he stayed. That's the reason
There
his
are
character
two
had to
other
leave
monks
last
with
session.
identical stats. If you need somebody to swing for me, I trust Chase to do it.
I'll even do your voice.
Thank you. No, let Josh do the voice.
Well,
Oh my gosh. All right.
and Josh offending
and
two complete
I'll
ethnic
message you
groups
later,
is
Jacob.
enough.
So,
But Andrew's going to check out
Yeah.
here. And again, like I said, we're almost done here. We're just finishing up. They need to search the rooms and find the stuff. Oric's going to search bodies.
Having a rough time for me.
This is when we figure out that Josh is not his computer froze.
Oh yeah, I did know. I thought he was just really happy.
Big chill. Look at him.
He froze on my screen with like 1,000-yard stare. He still.
I was trying to get that to zoom in a little bit, but unfortunately it's just going to keep loading.
Yeah, it was doing the
No,
speed.
He's
My
back.
whole thing just froze. I'm on my phone right now.
Oh, everything froze?
Yeah, Hawks has been having.
Where'd you leave off?
What's up?
Where'd you leave off?
Right when he said something about everybody having the same stats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he didn't miss much there. I don't remember what I'm describing here, but basically there's two guys knocked out, one guy imploded from
Who knew there was a main artery in a big toe?
Not I.
So I'm holding my parchments in goodie bags. I'll just say I found this. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but scour the rest of the building and let's get out of here.
I loot the bodies.
Never fails.
So
And I loot the entrails.
His belongings wouldn't have dematerialized.
I say
You
that
don't know
there's
my
nothing
power.
left of that man. You don't know my power. I say, listen, the Empire, the Death Star blew up. There's nothing to get. But he can loot the other bodies.
I at least want one this time.
And I ask if anyone else wants one, so I give them the option to loot the other thugs. So Oric's gonna get the top one, and Milo will run downstairs and get the bottom one, and I have them each roll investigation checks. And here I pause because I know there's a lot of DMs that think that it should be a survival check. I've never really understood that. I think the real
You're
reason...
investigating the pockets.
Getting to get 1 damaged loot.
So you want to go with investigation?
Yeah, let's go with it. I think people do that because they
in
want
this very
survival to matter.
moment, survival would have been better for me.
But I've never agreed with that. To me, it's like, okay, let's check
Probably.
the pockets. It should either be a perception or investigation. And I try and give more weight to investigation than most people do.
Are you back?
I'm back.
So they're going to get a little bit
15.
extra. With that 15, he gets a D6 of gold and a D8 of silver, and I think it comes out to like 5 and 4 gold and silver respectively. But they just get a little extra coins. There's no intelligence on them. They were just guards. And they're just some hired thugs that the veteran the veteran hired on to keep watch while the Baron was away.
I had a nat 21 total.
Nat 20 will get him 2d6
Yeesh.
of gold, which I think it came up to like 8 gold pieces. But yeah, that's what they do. And then what we're gonna see here coming up is the team splits up.
Death.
The team's gonna split up and start looking.
I'll go into the room north of me and just.
So all that wording, by the way, is on the GM layer, so these guys don't see that. So when he says that, that's why he's not saying master bed and bath. He can't see that. That's for my own note taking, my own reference.
What's on this?
That's a mirror.
Oh, okay. Thought it was an armor stand.
This guy.
Whoop! No. He doesn't need it. He's just a pool of blood.
I will take the time while everyone else is searching to try to clean that up.
He didn't have that toe armor though.
So he's gonna.
There could have been a whole bunch of greaves at the bottom.
So he says he wants to clean it up. There's linens in the linen closet, but I was like, you don't really have anything. It's just kind of spreading it around.
Fur.
He's using his fur. That's disturbing to me.
What bedroom has not been explored? Has this one right here been explored?
It has not, so he's gonna go through there and do that.
Or here.
And so what I say is that it's it seems like a guest bed, but there's no there's blankets and stuff on there, but it doesn't look like it's been used in a while. And there's a dresser right here where I'm pinging now, but there's nothing in it. So it gives the impression that there's no one staying here at the moment. It is a guest bedroom, but there's no one in it at the moment. And so he'll move on and check what I have marked as the study there at the bottom right. Either he will or Milo will. I can't remember which one.
What do you mean? It's 6:36 in the morning.
Right. At this point, I'm like, we're already running about a half hour behind. It's almost midnight for us. Chase has been up the entire time. He never stopped.
Grabs Milo and takes him to the bath that he just found.
Yeah, well, there's no water in it. So all these objects are loaded in Roll20. Some of them I really like.
I can see the bubbles.
Some of them I really like. I kind of miss there. So there used to be
They
older
just
versions of
Check
these.
that last room.
Okay, so Milo's going to go check the last room. There used to be older versions of some of this stuff, and I actually like some of the older versions better just because they fit in the 5x5 square, or the tiles better, but some of these are pretty cool. So Milo goes and checks it. I think I asked for an investigation check to rifle through the parchments on the desk. There's books in the shelving unit and a couch over here in the corner where I'm pinging. And again,
One of them reads The Lusty Argonian.
I actually don't understand that reference. If anyone wants to put that in the comment section, that'd be great. Thought I did, then I don't. But I think I asked him for an investigation check here. There's parchments out, and I think it's a pretty easy check. Or I might just say, because we're getting late, that he finds it. Certainly a map. He can't be sure that it's the map, but it is a map.
I go ahead and take that then.
Yes, that's what I do. I just say that.
I have
it
all
has
the
it.
rest of the parchment, so we'll get there eventually.
Okay. Doggo. Josh brings his doggo up. Mine were back here before I hit record, but they left. My wife rescued them, and then I know Milo's was back there at some point. We're dog lovers around here. But I tell the group now that they basically they take their parchments, they go back outside. What Chase found, I said that there was like a little leather pouch. Is that had a little leather pouch with 20 gold pieces in it. So he increased his wealth by another 20. So he went from real low to real high with his benefits from prize betting and whatnot. But what I say is that they get outside, they meet up with Traellus Flintforge. Chase just dumps the papers in front of her. She does not take long at all to find out that what Milo had is the correct map. She's shuffling through. Milo hands her the paper and she says, "This is it. This is exactly what we need." And the party decides to just leave the rest of the parchments out.
I've never seen a red hair gown before.
Disturbing the amount of blood on him. And hold on.
Here we go. The 5-second delay for the sound effects is epic. Wait.
So she takes the map. She says, "This is it. Let's get back to Old Coasthold and we'll talk more." Again, we're just leaving the parchments on the street. But this is where we're going to end the session here. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, we're in a session here, guys. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for sticking it out for me again. I'm sorry that I'll let these guys wave goodbye and whatnot. I am sorry that I biffed the recording here. I will not make the same mistake twice. I know exactly what happened. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, then please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We will be back next week with another video with the proper method of recording. Give us comments if you have something you'd like to see, but if you can appreciate the work that these guys put into it, and the bravery it takes to come on the internet and let yourself be judged by people, then please, like I said, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you all very much.
Harder down in the comments.
Whoa,
I forgot about that.
The same thing as me. You can't judge me hard is where I was going, and he did it.
All right,
Timing
guys.
was impeccable, Chase. That was perfect.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Y'all.